Like, I have no notes today.
Most of my notes are on my character sheet.
Rookie move, gotta keep them on Google Drive.
I'm just gonna farm today.
It's just going to tend to your farm.
Pretty much.
But you know what's funny is that you have notes and Lilith is still like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
I am like that. If I try to make my character just like attentive to everything, I'm not gonna play it out well.
No, that's fine. That's
like, I know
that's consistent with her character.
It's fine, yeah. Lilith is like, wait, what deal? What deal did I make?
what's going on?
It's all going to come up soon. All right.
Oh, shit. I do need to
Hi,
get
everybody.
online.
Welcome to the stream.
Hello.
We're live now?
Oh,
Excellent.
yeah, we've been live.
Oh, good. Hello.
Hi.
I didn't see you there.
He literally didn't.
He really didn't. That's
Yeah, okay, this is immersion. I need y'all to be quiet now. Shh, shh. Okay. Hello. Welcome to Mercenaries of Mischief. You all covered up your faces. All right. Welcome to Mercenaries of Mischief. I am always the benevolent Dungeon Master Puck, and I am joined by these hooligans.
Evelyn, man.
And together we are going to play a game of Dungeons and Dragons today. These hooligans, who I will introduce in no short order, randomly, are one Redan, half-giant barbarian. One Gilbetta fucking not, cleric of Soon. One Lilith Singer, tiefling bard. And one Kashano the Quick, also a bard of some sort, some kind of bard. Really? This is what
He's a bard that thought he was a rogue.
he's abusing his production powers. Okay. Now then. Okay, enough of this. It's too far.
Wow.
When last we left our heroes, they had ventured into the Mage Tower in Avalon Keep with an unusual wizard who appeared to be from many years in the past. And they were able to successfully stabilize the tower and reclaim it for use. Gilbetta and Lilith had floated their way out of the tower back into the keep, but Redan and Kashano found a passageway leading to the bottom of the tower, the very, very base, where they have discovered a statue of the founding members and the vault. And we joined that now in progress.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun dun dun.
You seeing this?
I see the statues.
Yes.
This is interesting.
Interesting to say the least. Did Cookie ever mention? Did any of them ever mention Backwin was one of them?
It makes sense though.
How does it make sense?
I don't know. I just thought it would make sense.
Redad, you're a little quiet.
I wanted to appear smarter than I actually am.
Your mic's a little quiet.
Volume up.
Put your it's up. It's up. He's got it up. That's why.
Oh, that's right.
okay, there we go.
Have it up.
Well, he's using a different mic.
Oh, yeah, I knew-
Oh.
oh, yeah. That's right. Anyways, oh yeah.
He's to adjust those gains.
I'm trying.
So what I'm wondering then is why they would neglect to tell us this. I mean, you would think that would be pertinent information.
Maybe they didn't want us to worry.
All right. I'm gonna start looking around this room a bit more. I don't know how well is it lit.
It is fairly well lit in here. It's magically lit down here, so you can easily see about it. But you notice immediately at the end of the room, there is a caged off section, but there's a massive hole in the back wall that goes into the earth.
It goes into the there's a deep tunnel that way.
Yeah, there's a deep tunnel.
Oh shit!
Thank you.
Ah, thank you.
Hi, Daddy Warbucks. Thank you.
I'm going to. Do I have any torches left? I believe I have a torch.
Redan's gonna slam his hammer on the ground and start walking over towards the hole.
Yes, we're dead.
All right.
I'm going to. Are there any torches around?
There are no torches around. However, Redan's hammer does provide the light of a torch when he slams it on the ground.
Right, but Redan, I maybe shouldn't just quite go walking down there. I can send my unseen servant with my unseen servant with some sort of light source down to kind of check it out first.
I don't have a light source other than this. Do you?
I got a candle. It's not much, but it's not nothing. I'm gonna take out a candle and light it up.
Sure.
Prestidigitize it and cast my unseen servant and send him out.
All right. The door to this caged off section is like off its hinges, so you easily move past it. Inside the area, there actually what appears to be kind of an altar. And then there are a number of kind of containers that looked like they contained a selection of scrolls, like a place where you would store blueprints.
Okay, so this isn't. So this is like there was a door on it. I'm seeing basically.
There's a door. It's bars, and there's a door on the bars to get into that section of the room, and then the back wall is torn down, and there's a tunnel leading outward.
Okay, so this does look as if somebody or something tunneled out of here to an escape.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I was afraid of.
Can we get an understanding if someone went out or came in?
You certainly can if you give me some kind of check to determine that.
I'll go investigation.
Okay.
God damn it.
You. Yeah, you're not positive.
Was it 23? Or why are you rolling a disadvantage? What's going on? Never mind. Go on.
Anybody else want to give it a shot?
I mean, oh yeah, if I have the opportunity, I'm definitely there.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
I'm tired. We just fought a bunch of shit. The
Perhaps
necrotic damage still here.
MT1 comes down behind you guys, and he looks at everything and he says, "This is not good."
I'll say, do you know what was being held back here? What was this? Somebody trying to escape, or was somebody that came in this way to steal something?
What has been stolen is the plans and materials to make me.
Why would someone want to? What is it exactly you do?
I am responsible for the management of the Mage Tower and its extra-dimensional spaces.
Is somebody trying to replace you, or are they just building a franchise somewhere else?
I'm uncertain. Someone could use these plans to potentially build an army of Warforged.
Okay.
Should they have the resources to do so.
Lock this shit down.
How long would that take to build one of you?
It took quite some time initially. It was a loving process.
I don't think whoever's doing this is going to be doing it in a loving manner. How long would it take to do bare minimum version building it?
Strictly mechanically, given the proper resources, not that much time. Maybe a day or two per unit.
Ooh,
With a single person working. Although, The trick is to instill sentient life.
And how would one do that?
This is uncertain.
Is this the sort of thing that requires another life to be switched in?
No, nothing as macabre as that.
Okay.
This is more of a situation where if you pour enough of yourself into the work, eventually the work takes on a life of its own. There's a bit of nuance to it.
Is there any other way to animate someone such as yourself without full sentience?
Well, there's a number of different ways with the proper magical knowledge.
Because, I mean, perhaps they're not looking to create independently thinking soldiers in an army. Maybe they just need haughty drones.
This is possible. They would be mindless constructs, similar to a shield guardian, although smaller and more nimble.
Yeah, see, that concerns me. Okay. Does this, like, the tunnel, does this continue down and just open up into this room and that's it? Is there more behind it? Does it seem to go on?
The tunnel and the hole in the back of the wall?
The hole, yes.
It goes a bit deeper inside. You can't see the end of it currently.
Redan's going to walk down.
Okay.
I feel like we should get some more of us.
I agree, but we need to see if there are fresh tracks.
Okay, let's go.
All right.
I'm going to follow behind him, and I got the sword and I got my flute, and I'm just like, here we go.
All right. You go down. It goes down, winds a couple different directions before you find a section of it completely collapsed.
Okay. I'm going to investigate this and make sure that it's like completely collapsed. Like this is a good seal off. I don't know.
Yeah, Redan will also do that.
Okay.
That's better.
You can tell. Redan can tell that not only is it collapsed very deeply, this was engineered. Somebody burrowed in, got what they wanted, and then destroyed any trace of where they went afterwards.
Roughly how large is the tunnel?
It's about large enough for 3 regular-sized humans to go through.
Side by side?
So not necessarily 2 side by side, and then
Okay.
like one following close behind.
We should inform the others and continue to look around the tower.
All right. You, MT, how do I get out of the basement?
I will prepare a way for us. And
Okay.
he goes over to a section of the wall and carefully removes a stone panel and utilizes some mechanisms inside, which causes a doorway to open up that will lead you outside.
Is it going to be necessary to enlist your aid every time we want to enter or exit any room in this place, or can we get a key pass or something?
For the current time being, it will be. However, I will reconfigure the tower to be more accessible to members of the keep.
That would be useful. Okay. Redan, I'm gonna go get Gilberta and Lilith.
I'm going to continue to look around the main area.
Okay, MT, maybe stick here with Redan. Just for emergency, you can send a message.
Very well.
Okay, and then I'll exit out.
Okay. All right, Redan, what are you doing looking around?
I don't know.
Going back to that statue area
Okay.
and looking for any sort of secret rooms or investigating the statue for hidden compartments. Just looking around.
Okay, there's no hidden compartments on the statue. However, down here there are a couple different caged off areas with different items inside.
Ooh, Redan's going to go look. Not touch, but look.
Okay. Looking around, one of the cage off sections has a great sword hanging on the wall.
Mhm. Okay. Are there doors going in? Like, does anything need
It's like a cage door.
Okay. Just getting a look at what's around right now, not poking or prodding anything.
There's the one section that just has the sword hanging on the wall in it. There's another section with a couple boxes. One section looks like it contains a cloak.
All right. Yeah, just looking around the room, trying to get an idea of what to tell everyone when they're here. Just
Okay.
again, not poking, not touching.
Most of it looks like equipment.
Okay. Yeah, and then just hang it out for a little
All
while.
All right. Kishano.
What do I see when I get out? Where do I exit?
You get outside and you see everyone else is waiting. The keep is same as you saw it before.
Okay, does everyone look like the age they were when we went in for the first time?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Gilbetta and Lilith are outside already. They
Gilbetta
see
and
everyone.
Lilith.
They see you walk outside the front.
So administrative meeting real quick. And he's going to walk over to Gilbetta and Lilith.
While?
Yes. There's a few more aspects of the tower that we could use your help with. Would you mind? Who else is around?
Everyone is around outside. So right now that is Spoony. Wormspit is out there as well.
Okay.
The various retinue. Ogbok, Manslayer.
I'm deliberately avoiding making any eye contact with the Spoony. And I'm just like, wait, could you join us back inside for a minute? MT wants to show us some of the details of the systems and such.
Very well.
Gilbetta, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, Gilbetta's still a spider. So she just crawls back up the side of the mage tower. And it's
That's not creepy at all.
she's a giant spider, by the way. I should note that.
The entrances and exits are a bit more complicated than that. Could you just come with us this way?
From the top of she's a giant spider. From the top of the mage tower, she looks at you and she like stomps her two front.
Little spindly legs.
Yeah, and climbs back down.
Just look miserable.
Just slowly, just like, fine.
Yeah, I don't know if you can get back in that way. We're still figuring this out. This is why we need to talk to MT here. And then I'll lead him. Is the portal or whatever I exited from still there?
But there's you walked out of a normal door.
Okay, great. I'm gonna go back through that normal ass door and hope it brings me back.
Right. It leads you right back down to the vault.
Okay, great. Okay, so I didn't want to give details up there. I don't know. This is just I'm still sorting things out. But like, check out the statue.
What is this?
And you see the statue that has all the founding members of Avalon Keep on it. And the founding members are listed on the nameplate as Blackwind, Spoony, Cookie,
Calzar.
Calazar, Calazar, and
What's his name?
Corvan.
And Corvan, whoever the fuck that is.
Yeah, it's a label underneath what appears to be a rather large dragonborn.
Oh shit, a dragonborn.
Mm-hmm. Blackwind.
Yeah, Gilbetta like points at that one with one of the spidey legs, and then she, in spider form, freaks out and just like climbs back and paces back and forth on the ceiling.
I want to take a good look at the statue.
It's not like she can't communicate. She's just chosen not to.
Gilbetta, are you stuck in that form forever?
She nods. She's like, no.
What's that, Gilbetta? We can rescue you. Quick, Radan, hit her. It's the only way to turn her back.
She like takes one of her legs and goes like this, like, don't you dare.
Can I take a look at Blackwind? What does he
Sure.
look like?
He looks like a spindly wizard. He's got the statue depicts him somewhat young, and he's got a little bit of a pointy beard, and he seems very well dressed.
So this is what he looked like. And he's part of the keep?
I mean, he looks. This is kind of what I pictured. The pointy beard is a little on. It's like, look at him. I mean, as much as evil is a thing, he looks evil.
Okay.
Like, look at Dan. You'd never look at this guy and be like, "Oh, that guy's evil." But like, look at the statue.
We should bring this up with Spoonie for questions later when we get out of here.
Yeah, I was wondering if you had any sort of background. Maybe Spoonie mentioned him while drunk at some point before he knew you were coming to the keep. I don't know.
DM, what do you think?
He has never mentioned Blackwind.
No, never. This everything is just as new to you as it is to me. So
I mean, it does, like Redan was saying, it kind of makes sense, though. It would explain why he had such intimate knowledge of the keep and the mage tower and how, you know.
a familiarity.
Right. So, like, we don't know what else he knows. We don't know.
What exactly was the fallout if they did know each other?
Right.
There's also more. Who would know how to get in here, the location of this, to be able to tunnel through?
Yeah. What would drive the rest of his party to? I mean, we know Cookie said he was like started being all wraithy and shit. So souls got power hungry, and then they locked him up in a ball, something like that. I don't know, but yeah. So I don't know. Redan, show him the hole.
Yeah, Redan will walk down, mace in
Okay.
hand, show him the hole.
All right. You see a large hole at the back of the room in what appeared to be a locked up section of the vault.
What do we all see?
You guys see this enormous hole. It looked like somebody tunneled into the vault, took something and left from this one particular room.
Someone with intimate knowledge of the mage tower would have to provide the information to get here.
I mean, who do we know that makes holes in vault walls?
Well, Philip did a pretty good did a pretty good job with the last wall.
I mean, it does seem to be his go-to move, eh?
We've seen it one time, so it's a bit of a stretch.
I'm just saying, it's a pretty classic stretch.
I mean, but he is from the keep, so we don't know how many people were here before we arrived.
And we don't know who's on whose side. We can't just assume that everyone turned against Blackwind when Cookie and Spoonie encountered it.
Indeed.
What happened to Corvan? Was he one of the big corpses up on the first floor? Did anyone look like Dragonborn?
No.
We have much to discuss once we're out of here, apparently.
There's also equipment up in the main room as well, behind doors.
What kind of equipment?
I only looked from a distance.
Anything useful, you think?
Potentially,
Shall we go?
we should
check it out
investigate.
then?
Indeed, I just did not want to open any doors in case traps were going off.
Oh dear.
Look. While
MT
we're
and
alone-
tones. I've disabled the security measures for now.
Okay.
Redan pushes past and starts running for the sword then.
Classic Redan.
Right. Well, hey, while we have a moment of privacy, I think we need to address some issues. Yeah, look. We may never reach a point where we all trust each other completely, and perhaps we never should. When it comes down to it, look around us. This is the result of one member of a trusted party losing their minds. We've seen that Kashana the Wild has apparently been turned by some power. We saw we saw in the Wailing Tomb, the Wailing Crypt, what the fuck was that place called? We saw
Wailing Tomb, I think.
in the Wailing Tomb the results of somebody turning on a party. There's forces at play we may not always be able to account for.
What's that outside noise?
Yeah.
It's Redan's traffic.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
We have to accept the possibility that even if we choose to trust each other's intentions, things happen. So, for my part, I'm dedicated to the Academy, to regaining its status in the world, and to having it be a trusted institution in and of itself. And I'm going to be making all of my decisions based on what's best for the Academy, even if it means it's not best for one of us.
Why are you so invested in the Academy, Krishana? Just curious.
Because it's a chance. It's possibly the last opportunity to do something of worth.
There are going to be opportunities. Don't think of it as the last one, as long as you're alive. But
Well, my life is short. I'm a human. I don't have centuries to sort my shit out.
and I'm a tiefling. I don't live that much longer than you.
Well,
So
who's with me? What are you standing for? Can we agree to stop fucking off in our own directions after our own plans? We've all got things we need done, but I think we'd have a better chance of getting them done with the power of an established, strong, standing institution.
So Redan had run past and stopped at when he started to speak. He comes up behind Kashano and just gives him a big bear hug, picks him up off the ground.
Oh my God.
The love.
He's on board.
I agree. I appreciate that you are trying to create something here, something greater than yourself, and I will stand with you. I apologize for returning to my people, but I thought it wisest for the greater good to try to see if there was more information to attain. But it is also my fault that you were locked in the vault because I did not go with you. So I am sorry.
I have to disagree. I take full responsibility for that blunder. Look, I thought we were just going in to get some intel. Things went south, but brings me to my next point. That wasn't for nothing. The goal was to gain some sort of leverage. Look, I have an idea that I've kind of put into motion. As far as I can figure, our enemy with the least allies would be the Black Hand. As far as I can figure, they are falling under the oppression of the Zentarum. So, with this, the black sword and pulls out, I've sort of gained a bargaining token, I think. I've sent a message to Araldo saying that I'd like to have a sit down, a peaceful one, perhaps. Maybe we can convince him to turn the Black Hands to a legitimate organization. There's a war coming.
what war?
Look around you.
There are many wars coming.
The giants are assembling to stand against some unseen threat. The Zentarum...
Giants now.
Oh,
Yes.
We need to catch everybody up, I think.
Okay.
Oh, that's
So you guys also didn't tell them what has been taken from
Dylan and Gelada didn't get that speech.
Yeah.
When I returned to my people, I informed them of everything that is going on. They were aware of most of it. They seemed the most concerned with the Tarask stirring. However, It seems like a civil war is coming among the giants. Like they will be moving against the giants that think they are better than everyone. Someone has claimed himself to be the emperor of giants, and this will not go well.
And you think they'll be coming after our small keep?
I think this
Or are we
will
just in the way?
reverberate for a long time. It will not be pleasant.
We will be ants on that battlefield. We won't be relevant, but we will be in the crossfire.
I am roughly the size of an infant giant. If this happens, it will not be good.
Aside from that, would they all be aware of the message carved into the goblin from the other night?
Well, it was known throughout the keep that somebody had sent us a message in a carved up goblin.
Yeah, aside from that, I don't know if you guys were given the full translation of the goblin message, but pretty sure it was aimed towards me, written in Undercommon. Could have been something meant for Calazar. Maybe they thought he was home. I don't know. But it was the carved into flesh. It was similar to the snake. I'm thinking, but like, look, if this one was signed by the Zentarum, they would like to meet with us. A bit more hostile tone than my invitation was sent with, but I'm unsure of what exactly they want. Regardless, they're making power moves they're the Zentarum, that's what they do, but they're clearly causing some stirring up some problems. So who knows what's happening with the Dracolich? There's a common thread of timeline 15 years ago when the Tarrasque stirred. 15 years ago, approximately when Shaun of the Wild went missing. 15 years ago seems to be about when things with Black Wind reached their peak. If I'm understanding everything correctly, Redan, do you get the same vibe here?
The timeline does seem to fit from everything I know.
So whether or not these things are connected, there's a lot of threats coming to a head. Oh yeah, and what was stolen out of here was Lilith, I don't think we can hear you.
But you went silent.
What was stolen out of here were the basically the blueprints for this guy. He points over to MT1.
Hello.
Yeah, so
Are you exactly MT1?
I am the caretaker for the Mage Tower. I am a Warforged. A sentient construct.
But like more details, please.
I am charged with managing the Mage Tower and its extra-dimensional spaces. Although there are other Warforged that exist in the world, my construction was specialized.
MT1, with your skills, what do you think the possibilities are of them trying to recreate what you?
There are a number of possibilities available, from the benign to the truly malevolent.
So replicating you is not difficult.
Well, the basic plans were always something that could be written down, but the process that which gives me sentient life is not something that can be quantified on paper or parchment.
How long do you think it will take with someone just starting now with your blueprints to make you?
Not just like me, but the shell, this form, not long, but it is just a shell.
look, if they were able to make a bunch of him, we'd be in a much better situation because he can be reasoned with. I don't think that's what they're doing, whoever they are.
And
I think they're making mindless war machines. That's what I would be doing.
So our next step then would be to negotiate with a possible ally, use this spoke of earlier, and to strengthen our keep, apparently.
My hopes, if we can gain some sort of agreement with the Black Hand would be largely to gain an information network.
How sure are you that once you meet up with them, they're not just going to outright, I don't know, do something dangerous to you?
Say not very. It's probably about it.
Confidence.
Realistically, I mean, it's been a while. I don't know how much Geraldo has matured. It's been a few years since I've seen him. He's in charge of shit now. Maybe he's got other priorities. But look, okay, look, there's about half chance that if he meets up with me, he's just going to kill me. The Zentarum, probably greater. But, I mean, just hanging out here at the keep, I've almost died half a dozen times. So I'm kind of... I kind of don't give a fuck anymore.
Is this a
Don't say
situation? Is this a situation where it would just be better to go and attack them, to try to sneak in and kill him?
No, I don't think that. No, I don't think that's that kind of situation. No. I think the best bet is to ask them to meet us at the Crab Shack. We can have scouts posted around. Up to a mile radius out to make sure that we know when there's no sort of siege coming behind.
Greater control of the situation is what you mean.
Yes, precisely.
Yes, it would be safer if they came here rather than us going to their territory.
I mean, I'm also willing to go meet him on some sort of neutral ground. Look, honestly, I mean, it turns out I'm pretty hard to kill. So,
Not with the way I've seen.
Gilberto, you've been awfully quiet. Would you mind stop being a spider and give some input here?
She ticks all her legs.
She's enjoying being a spider far too much.
And then she climbs up on the ceiling and like does a couple of circles and then jumps back down and then she turns back into Gilberto.
Oh, there you are.
She's like, being a spider is so much fun.
At least one of us is having fun.
It does kind of look fun.
While you guys are speaking, MT1 is going around and unlocking the doors to all of these caged off vault sections.
Ooh. I pretty much agree with most of the things that have been said.
Any additional thoughts or concerns that we may have overlooked?
We're fucked.
Optimistic.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Like, aren't you the positive one?
Like,
I appreciate your being honest. It does look that way.
I mean, we've got a fucking dragon after its teeth and fucking giants fighting wars, and we don't know the situation with Blackwind. We don't even know if he's been contained. We have no idea what's happening. We literally died multiple times trying to clear the mage tower.
What are you talking about?
You don't even... We discussed this. You were lying.
I just
wait. Payback is coming.
Laugh.
Hands on hip, just like, oh, boy.
MT1 intones. The original founders faced hardships as well. And they survived everything. To a point. But even then, they're all here. With the exception of poor Corvan.
Yeah, what happened to Corvan?
What? Yeah.
Perhaps this can help. And he goes into one of the vault sections and he pulls out a mirror.
Is it an eye mirror?
It is not an eye mirror. It is a particular type of mirror.
That all mirrors. Look at her.
It is a mirror of
Did
the
you think about
past.
that?
A mirror of the past.
Yes, I know what he's talking about.
Gilberto pokes it.
All right, you poke it and it feels like a hard surface.
Oh.
And then he says, I am not able to utilize this, but if one of you thinks about Blackwind and looks inside, you will gain some insight into the things that have happened.
She's like, Gilberto says, he choked me. He called me a bitch. I get this.
This woman can really hold a grudge, can't she?
Only this woman?
Oh, he has a point.
Savage.
Raise an eyebrow, like.
And Radan's thing wasn't even that bad.
Oh man, this is interesting decorating.
MT continues. He says, there are always hardships for people who band together against what the world has to throw at them. But in my knowledge and the history that I have cataloged here, it is the ones that have been able to stay banded together who have survived. I can see that you all may have what it takes. There is equipment here to assist you. And of course, I am at your service.
Did he literally just give us that it's dangerous to go alone here, take this speech?
Roundabout, why not?
Gilberta like holds her arms out and she just looks in this mirror and she just thinks about the statue of Blackwind and him fucking choking her, calling her a bitch, and
Okay.
fucking his little, if you try to fucking do some shit, remember this shit, fucking bullshit. And
See, just doing all this out loud is like.
oh, she definitely is like, she's like, remember when you choked me, you motherfucker?
You see the mirror shimmers.
Does everyone see this as well?
Yeah, everyone who's looking at the mirror sees these things.
Nice.
And then it shows depictions of a number of people wearing the colors and symbols of Avalon Knights. They are fighting dragons, liches, minor deities. Over and over again, they fight and they achieve victory over and over again through knowledge, allies, sticking together. They're able to come out on top. They journey to a world where there are no adventurers at all, where the entire world, the role of adventuring has been boiled down to one incredibly powerful person. They travel to many worlds and achieve many victories. You see the group of them getting together and founding this place and turning it into a school. And you see the man depicted in the statue, known as Blackwind, studying incessantly, constantly, learning everything he can about all of the creatures that they have fought and faced, learning where their power comes from and how to utilize it. And then you see the same group attacking a giant shadow dragon. It's wispy and enormous, fearsome creature. And you see Blackwind employ a ritual that draws the entirety of this creature into himself. And his physical form disappears and gives way to this wispy, suited figure. Everyone is apprehensive. You see images of accusations and shaking heads, saying that it's gone too far, but you see it continue. He absorbs wraiths. He absorbs some minor magical creatures. And then finally, he is confronted by everyone. They say he's gone too far. They ask him to stop Corvan, the paladin of Bahamut, most vocal, moves and says, if you continue down this path, I will have no choice. And the shadows pierce Corvan's scaly hide all over. Until he falls dead. And the last thing you hear is Blackwind say, and the choice is made. And then it all fades away.
Jubetta turns around and looks at her and she says, well, shit. That's not good.
Does that mirror work on
Yeah,
anyone?
does it work on anyone or what?
We have to see.
Because
Just better.
I'm gonna be back.
May I borrow that mirror later?
I think we leave it here in the tower.
In the scenes where Blackwind was studying, did it look like he was in the Mage Tower? In the
It
library?
looked like he was in the Mage Tower.
Interesting.
Why is it that men crave power so much and destroy others?
Lilith, have you
That's what power,
honestly never met a man like that?
that's what power does.
I have met, and I wish that is not the case. I wish that I just wish that those people just not do those things, those terrible things.
Kashana's going to place a hand on her shoulder and say, look, all the more reason to build an institution with some power behind it. If you can step in and stop people like that, as Cookie and Kalazar did. And while he's touching her, he's going to cast Identify.
What?
It takes a minute, dude.
I imagine Kashana
hand
can
up.
talk for a minute easily.
I haven't taken my hand up yet.
Okay.
Lola must shuffle away if she can. Be like,
Okay, from what I read of the spell Identify, it generally pertains to objects.
I'm not an object. I am not an object.
Or did I make that up? If you instead touch a creature throughout the casting, you learn what spells, if any, are currently taking effect on it. Is what I was going for.
Oh, there are no spells taking effect on her currently.
Do I notice? Can I tell with this kind of thing, or is this like a slick move? Like the charm spell, you can kind of tell. If
I don't know. Give it a stealth check, Kashano. See if you.
Boy.
You better roll
Oh,
high.
boy.
You better roll high.
That's pretty good.
Still, what do I need to do to oppose that?
Perception.
Okay.
I'm waiting with bated breath.
Oh, so am I. I'm staring. I'm just waiting.
Oh, it
Maybe
all comes down to this.
maybe
I
this
need
is
to
when
know.
Radan gets off the shit list.
Oh shit!
What happened? What happened? What happened? Did I get it?
You
You got 19. You beat him by 2.
I shuffle away and be like, how? Why?
I'm just making sure you're all right. You've been weird the last couple days.
What just happened?
This. And I grab Radan, and I'm like, hold still for a minute.
Okay.
All right. Radan is not currently under a spell.
Currently.
Jobetta doesn't even give Kashano a chance to grab her. She runs up to him and puts her hand, like grabs him by the shirt, like so that they're touching.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Like, do it, motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm going to cast Identify on her.
She's not currently under a spell.
I'm just casting it, so I'm,
Yeah.
the drum go. I've recently. Okay, so there are certain songs that always just seemed a little different, and they turn out to be casting songs more often than not. They didn't used to work, and lately some of them are working for me. I can check for magical effects and properties just by touching shit.
Why didn't you just come out and say it before just disrespecting my space like that?
I apologize, but if you were under a charm, you weren't exactly going to let me do it. So I would expect the same diligence from each of you. If you ever feel that I'm somehow compromised, I expect you to take actions to identify and contain the issue.
Perhaps this can
Well
be
noted.
last time.
No, fine.
Noted.
No offense.
All right.
Should we continue to investigate?
Before we do that, Gilberta will cast Druidcraft to make Lilith have a little crown of tulips.
And actually, speaking of which, MT, do you know what do you know what all this stuff is?
Yes, I have an extensive catalog of the items.
That'll save me a lot of time.
I have selected some things that may be of use to you,
Oh, fantastic.
given your particular skill set.
Guys, shall we see what he's got?
I am intrigued.
Very well. He goes through everything, and he produces, for Redan, he produces a ring with some ram's heads on it.
So good.
For you, Redan, a ring of the ram.
What does it do? Gilberta says.
It makes someone particularly adept at charging attacks.
Oh, good lord.
Sounds
This will
fitting.
be fun.
It does sound fitting.
For you, Miss Lilith Singer,
Oh, me.
yes, some bracers of the archer.
Oh,
They shall help you improve your bow skills.
right. Lovely. Thank you.
No problem.
I want to make a joke so bad. Oh.
These were utilized by one of the Academy's finest rangers, one Raikuchi.
Raikuchi?
Yes.
That's incredible.
Like immaturity kicking in. Like, that's great.
Who's got a dry coochie? Okay, so I did it. There, it's done.
Okay, there we go. Ba-dum-tsh. For you, Gilberta,
Hmm?
there is, and roots through these things, a shield of the full moon.
What?
This should help you with your powers.
Yay.
What does it do? What?
It's, well, for one, it is a shield.
Okay, sure.
For
But
two.
moon was said.
Yes, moon was said. For two, it is a shield dedicated to Selune, and bestows certain powers overnight, but it will need to be recharged. It has been down here for quite some time.
On it.
And for you, Kishano, he roots through and he finds a pair of shoes. And these shoes have depictions of spider webs on them. He says,
Yep. Go on.
these are shoes of spider climb.
We can spider together, Kashano.
They might help with your mobility and your sneaking around.
All right.
Okay.
Like, to what extent?
These will allow you to walk on walls.
That's what I wanted to hear. Oh shit!
We can spider to
So I sit down and I start taking my boots off, and as I do, things are falling out of them.
Thump, 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 thump.
Gold pieces.
Perception on that.
There's some gold pieces. There's a small bit of wood and a piece of string that's still there. There's let's see. I mean, what else would be in there?
It's been so long and he stored so many.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. There's no like secret notes. All that stuff's come out. Oh, the key. No, I left the key in my room. So I don't know. Just probably just random shit.
Just all this shit falling out.
Nothing
It's like
particular.
gold and like.
I hope they will be of use to you. Calazar had stolen them from the Underdark.
I do. How high did they come up? On the
They're like shoes. They're like,
Mhm.
yeah, I know.
I have to find
they,
a
don't,
new,
they don't match your aesthetic.
emergency storage situation. Is this like an enchantment that can be transferred by the proper mage?
My lord.
I'm afraid not.
Those shoes do not match your belt. Perhaps I should have them.
I mean, they're not going to fit you, Radan. Come on.
You are.
And I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna try to walk straight up a wall.
Yep, you do.
And Jovetta just the whole time is like, we can spider together.
I'm gonna be like, is this the problem with you not being able to guard yourself? Were these things in your way with your footwork?
I mean, to be fair, I've dodged quite a few deadly attacks. I mean, some of them, the other ones hit, but
There
it's
is
gonna be fine.
there is also the question of what are these little gems? And Radan pulls out those 4 soul stones, full soul fragments.
Hmm.
Right?
Interesting. These are not in my inventory.
Well, we found them scattered about.
Radan, may I take 10 minutes with those?
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna sit down and do a ritual cast. Now that I have all 4, hoping I can get more information.
While he does that, Jovetta's going back to that mirror.
All right. These are soul fragments.
I figure out how they're made, who they belong to, anything like that.
No, but you know how to use them now.
Oh.
How do I use them?
You configure them in a certain way together, or you bring them to their proper vessel.
Do I know what happens when I use them?
You know that you'll be able to commune with whatever is left in these, and then release what's ever left inside of them, or input what is inside of them into a proper vessel.
You can figure out who he can figure out who it is also in that process.
Yeah.
I would assume.
But I have to bring them to the proper vessel to figure out who it is?
No, you can configure them away from the proper vessel, but it will release the essence.
Define
Like it disappears kind of thing, or like it goes
Yeah.
back to the body, or
Like
wherever
it is, like it is released, and then what happens to it after that is uncertain.
Would I know though whether this person, so this would belong to a person that's no longer alive or walking around,
Ooh.
or could it belong to a person that's walking around without a soul?
It could still be somebody walking around without a soul. It could be somebody who's missing parts of their soul. These are not enough fragments to make up an entire person.
Got it. All right.
Does it you have all the pieces, or does it looks like you're missing pieces, kind of thing?
Missing pieces.
We don't
Yeah.
have all of it. Oh shoot!
So these are how do I put this?
Hovering over and looking down, I'm like, what did you find?
Are a fraction of a soul, sort of, in essence. I don't know who, but it's familiar.
It's the same thing you told me back in the tower.
Right, but there's an extra part. If we knew who they belonged to, we could bring them back and put them back in that person. Or I think if we had enough of them, maybe it would just work with these. I don't know, but I think if we had enough of them, we could put them into some other vessel and kind of like nods towards MT, something like that. And I mean, obviously an unoccupied one, but and get a sense of who they are, but I don't know if they'd be a complete person with free will or if they tried to kill us. I don't know.
There's more.
Hearing this, Redan holds up his warhammer. He looks at one of the stones, looks at
Oh,
the
God.
warhammer, looks at,
Pretend no.
looks at the warhammer, looks at one of the stones.
It could be someone who's still alive.
It could be an ally, friend.
We need to find someone with greater knowledge that knows more about these stones.
We need Kalazar. Fuck, we need Kalazar. Where the fuck is Kalazar? Hold on.
Where are Cookie or Cowdle? We don't.
Are
know
the
where
warlocks
either.
back yet?
They have not yet returned. However, the warlocks have gone to go look for Kalazar.
Where?
We had lost contact with him. As per my conversations with Spoony.
To look for them. Where did they go for that?
They went to the deserts. They were assisted by Cookie's former wife, one Black Cherry Borden.
Black Cherry's back. What?
Cookie had a wife.
Yeah.
Cookie was married to Black Cherry Borden?
Cookie had 9 wives.
You guys didn't know that?
9
No, I
wives.
didn't fucking know that. How could you not mention that?
Black Cherry was the 9th.
Like, this,
I
it
didn't
seems
know.
like a big deal.
I didn't know it was a big deal. I
How
don't
could
even
you not know?
Cookie ruled that way.
Are you honestly telling me you've never heard of Black Cherry Borden?
know. Not until Cookie said that she was his wife.
Oh my god! And, like,
Where's Black Cherry?
who's Black? This is like she's a pirate. She's not just some pirate. She's not just a pirate. She is the pirate. All right, you need to fucking understand. This is Black Cherry. Tear your eyeballs out through your asshole and feed them to you, motherfucking Borden. This is like, oh my god.
That's a long name.
Whatever. Is she coming back? MT, is she coming back?
She is certain to return once they find Cookie and Kalazar.
I go Black Cherry.
Kashano is fangirling right now.
You guys. Okay, look, let me put it this way. If I were to roll into any pirate port and be like, Kashano the Wild is in danger and he needs our help. I need a crew to go save Kashano the Wild. I might get a couple. I might get a handful of takers, right? If I were to pull into a pirate port and say, Black Cherry Borden's gone missing and she needs your help, everybody would say, fuck you, you fucking liar. Black Cherry Borden doesn't get boarded. Like, this is no.
That's funny.
So she's a very strong woman.
She
I like her.
Like I said, unstoppable pirate lord. You don't want to fuck with her.
She
Really hope.
is the only one that Marcus Phoenix truly fears.
There you go.
I like that.
I really, really like her now.
So cool. Right. I told you we were getting big.
Gilbetta, are you seeing anything in your mirror?
What are you looking for?
So sorry, Sean. Gonna put you on the spot.
Okay, no, it's fine.
Gilbetta went to the mirror and she said, I need to know something about this prophecy shit. And she is gonna think of Figram.
Okay.
And I'm like, she's gonna think of Figram and the prophecy that he talked about and all that shit.
Okay. You see depictions of Figram praying in a temple of Selune that you don't recognize. You see him whisper, I understand. Then you see images of him saying goodbye to his very young daughter and his wife. You see him trailing out to the place where he found you. You see him staying there for many years until he finally finds a sea elf girl. And then you see very familiar images of him raising and teaching you.
She kind of like reaches out a hand and like almost touches the mirror, but not quite.
Okay.
Are you like in your own little corner where we can't see?
I mean, if you walked over there, you could see.
Yeah.
I didn't move the mirror. I just walked up to it.
Was it brief or was it something that probably took a while?
It took a little while.
Yeah.
I want to look at Gibleta's face, see if she looks how she looks. How you looking, Gibleta?
She looks extremely, very melancholy.
Mm.
Is the best way I know how to put it.
Mm.
Would you like to be alone?
She says that is too familiar a place.
What is?
Alone.
I over here. Alone? I thought you were a pilgrim.
When she's saying being alone is too familiar, she's rather
Redan sits down beside her.
with us. Let's go see what else we've won.
This is all that would be of use to you at this time. None of the other items have the proper proficiencies for any of you.
I'm more interested in the library. He looks over at Redan.
I am also interested, but I will stay with Gildetta.
MT, is it are we clear to kind of walk about the tower at this point, or is there more that needs to be done to secure it?
If you give me some time, I can reconfigure it so that you can more easily explore and have it ready for you in the morning.
Waited this long, I think we can wait till morning.
We should go shopping.
Empty one. By any chance, and I point at the soul stuff that Kashana is like identifying. Like, are you able to possibly locate these in the tower if we're missing any with your abilities?
If I find any during my reconfiguration, I will let you know.
Much appreciated.
Oh, MT1, I have a question for you.
Yes.
On the main floor, there was a book that had an explosive gem on it. Are you able to remove that gem so we can see the book?
There are the necessary scrolls inside the tower for me to place counterspells on those so I can remove them.
I would appreciate it if you could do that with that book.
No problem.
Thank you. Please find me when you're done.
Very well.
Should we rest? I am feeling quite hurt from...
I'm feeling quite hurt.
Yeah, I'd like to, yes, yeah.
Redan has an ouchie.
Who has the soul shards at this point?
You have them all?
You have, yeah.
You're
I'm-
the last person.
I'm going to walk over to Lilith and hold them out for her. I feel like you'd be least inclined to do anything rash with these.
Certainly have no use of it personally, so
So perhaps the safest with you.
Should we store them all in one place?
I appreciate that you have this trust in me then. Thank you. And she'll hold on to it.
All right.
Like, what is happening?
As you guys exit the tower, Redan, this sword catches your eye again, the one resting on the wall.
I'm going to stay back. I'm going to investigate further.
Okay. There is a kind of placard underneath it.
In any language Redan can read?
Absolutely, it is in common.
Ooh, what does it say?
The great sword of ancestry, hallowed blade of Corvan, paladin of Bahamut.
Redan will walk over to it, reach out, and just give it a little tap. It's like, bonk.
Ding. It rings with kind of metallic sound.
Is it affixed to the wall, or can it just be like...
It is like hanging on the wall.
If he's like out just doing this in the willy-nilly of our perception, I'm just gonna go to Kashana and be like, Kashana, do you want to go and identify that?
I thought we already left.
Did we?
You guys were on your way out, and this sword caught his eye again.
I think you waited till we left.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
Is MT1 still there?
Yes, MT1 is still there. He's standing behind you, waiting for you to finish.
MT1, may I touch this?
You certainly may.
Do you know anything about it?
It is the hallowed blade of Corvan, paladin of Bahamut. It was utilized in battle many times. He could use it to summon spectral ancestors to aid him in battle.
Redan will reach up and take it off the wall and just give it a couple Conan swings and spins.
All right. You give it a couple swings and spins.
Classic Redan.
The steel rings as it brushes through the air.
MT1, may I borrow this?
Sir, you may utilize it if you wish. Redan, what is your alignment currently?
I'd say it's bordering on neutral, sliding more chaotic neutral at this point.
Okay. The sword feels basically inert in your hands. You don't feel any power.
The paladin
All right.
It's a
sword.
paladin. You gotta be a good boy.
You need to be a good boy. Yep.
God damn you, Kashano.
Oh my God, heart you.
Redan's just gonna walk over to MT1 and ask if there's any books on Corvan.
There are a number of his record.
Ooh, better idea. Walks over to the mirror.
Okay.
Love this mirror.
Right?
Fucked up.
Why read the book when you can just watch the movie?
Right?
All right. You go up to the mirror. What do you do?
Redan will look over at the statue of Corvan and just start thinking about him, his deeds, and any time he may have been using this weapon.
You see a dragonborn with platinum scales. And you see him go through various battles. You see him fighting legions of the undead, liches. You see him go up against avatars of Bane. You see him concentrate on the sword, and in moments in which he is doing great heroism, saving other lives, a spectral dragonborn holding a similar sword appears by his side and fights alongside him.
Okay.
But it's only at moments when he is protecting the innocent, when he is truly doing good in the world.
Okay. Okay. And if I could just steal one more moment of your time, Redan's going to think about this book that he found, this Deep Dura book, and just try to think about who placed it in that vault or the story behind that book.
It does not work.
Ooh. All right. Redan will exit, but take a stop at the library and try to find a book on Corvan.
Okay. You find a book of the Tales of Corvan Dunamis.
Okay.
All right.
All right. That's good.
Okay. All right. What are y'all doing?
Yeah, it's a perception to see if I noticed that like Redan was gone, and I got a
you
net.
didn't notice nothing. He comes out later. Redan, are you holding on to that sword still?
Yeah, he's just gonna walk out with it.
Yeah, he walks out with
strapped to the back.
this new sword strapped to his back.
Redan, what's that, Redan?
It was on the wall. It's a sword.
Ooh, shiny.
You guys recognize it as the sword of Corvan Danimus because you saw it in the images.
Yeah, movie props, love it.
And-
What kind of sword is it? Is it a long sword? Is it a, what is it?
It is a great sword.
Oh, okay.
I bet Dernan would pay a pretty penny for that to hang on the walls of the yawning portal. It's exactly the sort of thing they look for in decor.
Why would we sell that to him? That is an heirloom of the keep. That is an heirloom of the keep. One of the founders wielded that blade. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Wait, it's like a museum there, It's so other adventurers, up and coming adventurers can go and see relics from the greats. I don't know, whatever. I'm going to find Wormspit.
She says, Redan, can I see it? I want to see the pretty sword.
Indeed. MT1 said I could carry it.
All right.
Hilt forward.
Okay.
She'll do a little curtsy as she takes it from you.
Mm.
Just like, thanks.
Trying to act extra good.
I was also planning to go see Wormspit.
Point,
You can both go see Wormspit. It's fine.
Yeah.
I look at Kashana.
I don't want to see Wormspit. He's
Where are
long.
you going?
Wormspit's so
We-
long-winded sometimes.
We need to get a status report on fucking everything now that we finally got that locked down.
Jobetta's
Sounds good.
gonna say, Redan, we should do some cross training. You can train me in ways of the sword, and I can train you in medicine.
I am interested in this. What type of weapon would you wield?
I don't know, something stabby.
Something stabby. I thought clerics only used hammers. Something about drawing blood and not killing things. With the stabby.
Well, the thing about that is, if somebody's doing some fucked up shit and attacking me, it's all good in the hood.
Okay. I am intrigued. Perhaps we can start this tomorrow when we're rested. Tomorrow morning, bright and early.
Well, the good and evil are black and white. Gets a little
All right.
gray when
So
there's sword involved.
that goes down. You guys go talk to Wormspit. What are you saying to him? He is tending to everyone now. Everyone is relaxing now that there's no longer beasts coming out of the mage tower.
Wormspit, what's the status of your people, your troops, the guards? What sort of casualties have we suffered in this whole debacle, if any?
Casualties.
He is solemn. He says, "We have lost a few of my brethren." And actually, with Wormspit, it's actually Ogbok the Manslayer. He stays fairly close to him these days.
My condolences, Wormspit.
Thank you.
Busa, have we met? Ogbog?
Oh, not formally. I'm Ogbog the Manslayer. Pleasure to meet you.
Kushana the Quick, pleasure to have you here. I assume you are here with Wormspit's invitation?
Yeah, I completed the program. I met with your warlocks before. I gave them a little assistance.
Oh.
So I took me and my war party. We joined up here at the keep with Wormspit's approval here.
Well, pleasure to have you aboard. I'm sure Wormspit's informed you of everything. I think you'll find it quite as comfortable as can be, given the circumstances.
Absolutely. My manslaying days are over. I completed the program. I'd show you my 3-month token, but I gave it to the warlocks. I promised them. But you could have the 3-month one.
Little possible. That's unfortunate. As soon as he says, like, I quit the manslaying thing.
I think I've got.
And you notice while he's talking to you, he actually has a daisy tattooed on the back of one of his hands.
I think I've got enough important tokens for now. How many were in your war party? How many did you? Well, I guess Wormspit. What are the numbers?
Our numbers number in 785 unassigned workers currently.
Hey,
How many did we lose?
damn.
Our current level of guards is at 75, and our current level of builders is at 36.
No, but how many did we lose?
We lost 25.
Have you performed a service for them?
I have started a cemetery towards the back.
Yes, I don't know what sort of burial rites your people practice, but whatever you need, of course.
The ceremony is unreligious. We simply honor and remember them.
A feast, then. This is a day of triumph.
Indeed. I like the sounds of that, Kishano.
Do we have livestock in the keep?
No, you guys get all of your meat and food from Golden Fields.
We got like a horse and a mule.
You have a horse and a mule still. That's what you have. But, you use those.
Great.
Or in the Minecraft version, we got like 6 horses.
Let's make sure we've got a fit feast. I think everyone could use a bit of a pick-me-up. Any extra supplies, little luxuries, treats that we can get from Golden Fields, let me know. We'll cover the expense.
Very well. I'll put the order in.
Wormspit, by any chance, by no means of disrespect, do you eat anything outside of meats, vegetables, fruits?
I eat primarily vegetables and fungi.
Is that so?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, that's exciting. Okay.
Speaking of which, now that you mention that, I never had the chance to ask Lilith. What was with all of that produce you showed up with? Whenever that was. Time is weird at this point.
Oh. Do you want to go see?
I
Acting
Oh.
proud.
Wormspit, tend to the wounded. Maybe have some, if you've got some staff available to prepare a feast. Everyone in the keep, we're celebrating tonight. But starting tomorrow, we're going to discuss the allocation of the available contributors.
Wormspit,
Very well.
you still have injured people around?
There are a few injured, yes. We're doing our best to tend to their wounds.
Kashana, hold that thought. Can you take me to them? I would like to try to see if I can restore with what I'm capable of doing.
All right, this way. And there is... He takes you to a tent. And inside this tent, once you go inside, you see another girl in there who has wings tucked in tightly behind her back and a long tail. And she is tending to the various wounded.
She's a tiefling?
She doesn't appear to be a tiefling, or at least not like any tiefling you've ever seen.
Oh. Okay.
And she kind of looks up, and she's wearing a kind of a white apron, and there are some small stains on it. And she kind of brushes it off. She says, "My apologies. I don't think we've been formally introduced. I'm Melissa."
This is weird.
Yeah, right? I didn't even think of it when I named these characters.
That's hilarious. That's incredible.
Yeah, no, right? And she...
Such a lovely name.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. And when you shake her hand, you notice that one of her hands is actually missing the ring finger.
I just was like, Lilith, pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you as well. You're a tiefling, right?
That I am, yes.
Ah, yeah. My brother and I are Cambians. We're brewers. We were saved by your other team, the Warlocks. And we decided that this might be a safe place for us to stay.
Your brewers.
Yes.
Oh boy, you are on the top of my list of favorites people here. Wait, I think I may have sampled your drinks earlier then.
Oh, yes. My brother William likely gave you some of it.
That was your brother.
Yeah.
Oh, it was just delightful. Do you
It's
have
pretty
more?
good. Oh, yeah. We're working on a couple. We're doing what we can with the facilities in the Crab Shack, but we're looking forward to having a brewery fully up and running in the Keep sometime.
If you need any assistance, do not hesitate to give me a call, please.
Oh, we will, but we did our best to lend some assistance to these poor creatures. And there are rows of, there are goblins. You see the occasional hobgoblin, and there are kobolds as well. And they're in various states of wounds. Some are missing limbs. Some have faces bandaged up. And she's like, I'm doing what I can. My people aren't the best at healing, but I have learned a few things.
Come get your bud.
That's true. That's true. Thank you. Melissa, if you can be a darling, I'll do what I can here, but I think we need more assistance. If you can go find a sea elf, her name is Gilbetta. She will help us
Elf, these
incredibly.
Excuse me.
Yes, I will go find her immediately. Please do what you can for them. Many of these creatures I have a little bit of a bond with. We were locked up in the same place.
Lilith is slightly getting water-eyed, seeing all these injuries. Just very empathetic right now. And she's going to perform a song of rest.
Before she leaves, she waves to you and she's like, it's good to see somebody else that has a little bit of infernal in them around here.
I can't tell you how relieved I am to meet another of my kind, honestly.
Well, we're not exactly the same, but you could say that maybe we're cousins. I'm half demon. My father was a demon.
No big.
I don't see that there's a difference.
Well, thanks. And she kind of takes off from the doorway and goes to look for Gilbetta.
Okay.
Song of Rest takes a minimum of an hour, right?
Service doesn't take like an hour. Actually, I'm quite curious since I never did it before for our own group.
I was just gonna say after about 30 minutes, Kashana's like, "The fuck," and he's gonna wander into the tent.
Okay, you wander in. You see the rows of injured goblinoids and kobolds.
And you can hear me in the middle of my song, like, close the wound and...
Oh, yeah. You also see the half demon lady fly out the front. But go ahead.
No more loss, blood has stopped, mend the wound you're told. And I just try to sing and heal, even though I'm not as strong as Gilbetta with her curing abilities, but it's something.
Back out of the tent.
Back out of the tent?
Yep.
All right, Gilbetta, wherever you are at, a winged woman wearing a white apron and fairly plain dress kind of lands nearby you.
Since this wouldn't have taken long, I would probably still be out there with Verdan, pretending, shaking this sword around, pretending like she's doing.
She runs up and she's like, "Are you Gilbetta?"
She's like, she turns with the sword and she's like,
"Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa!"
"Yes, what?"
Verdan's going to take the sword away.
Lilith told me that you have abilities for healing. Is that correct?
I mean, I'm a cleric, so you could say that.
We have a number of wounded from the retinue of your goblin guards. And your abilities may be of service.
Oh, she looks at Redan. Giovanna looks at Redan, and she's like, "Bye, Redan."
I will come with you. This seems like a good opportunity to learn.
Okay, hi, Redan. And then
she leads you over there and she says, "I'm Melissa, by the way. I'm a brewer."
Oh, not much of a drinker myself, but
So she says.
My brother and I we were attacked and the warlocks rescued me. So we thought this might be a nice place to set up shop.
the warlocks. I like the wood guy. What's his what?
Richard.
Yes, that one. What
Oh,
kind of wood is
brother.
he made of again?
I'm not sure, but my brother really likes him.
I can't remember what kind of wood he's made of. Just to ask him that when I see him.
I think it's willow.
Maybe.
But anyway, she leaves.
I've recently taken some training in the druid abilities, and wood is pretty cool.
It's pretty neat. But she takes you to the tent, and there you can see the rows of injured goblinoids and kobolds, and Lilith is tending to them, and Melissa just quickly runs and starts tending to wounds and giving water.
Krishan's already fucked off to find Yibi.
Okay, you find Yibi very quickly. He's not far. But Gilberto, what are you going to do with this room full of wounded?
She's gonna say, where are your worst, the ones in the worst condition?
And a couple goblins kind of point you to a direction. They're just, a couple of them are mangled. They're missing limbs. They're burned.
Gilberta is just going to take some time. Because like a straight up healing spell isn't going to reattach their.
No,
Right.
we need a higher level spell for something like
She's
that.
gonna try to. She's gonna try to do what she can and save whatever limbs she can, and like do some fucking skin grafting. And,
You're going to employ. Are you going to employ any spells or just straight up medicine?
I was gonna do a little both, probably.
Okay. All right.
Probably gonna do medicine for like the limbs, and then channel divinity to get
All right.
some good ass. But how many of them that are in the worst shape are there?
There are 36.
Jesus.
And how many of those are in the worst, like the bad
That's
ones?
how many there are in the 36.
Okay.
In the wounded section, there's about 36 of them in there, and there are about 25 others that are in various other states of wounded.
Okay.
All right,
Chill.
some are in one place and Jabetta's in the other.
Yeah.
Gilberta, before you start healing them, and Redan pulls out his 2 water skins from the Feywild. Here, take these.
Ooh.
Okay. So I'm going to. The first thing she's going to do is do the medicine check to try to like take her time and see if she can attach limbs and stuff like that.
Okay.
Ba-da-boom. That's not great.
Can she
That's-
roll at advantage because I'm helping?
Sure, you can assist her and give her an advantage on that.
That's a 27.
That's better. All right, so you're running around and you're tending to these goblins quite well, and they're all very tons of gratitude. There is a very small kobold that at first doesn't know what to think of you, and as you heal him, he actually gives you a hug and thanks you.
Oh,
Gilbert is like, okay. So she's basically gonna, like, since it's getting dark, right?
It's getting about evening time.
Okay. So she knows that she's gonna be probably going to bed soon, so she's just gonna burn up every
Just
spell
burn up
slot.
everything. All
Burn
right.
up every spell slot she has.
Cool.
So she's going to channel divinity.
All right.
So that is 5 times your cleric level, and my cleric level is something that I don't remember, 3. So that's 15. But then because of my disciple of life, it adds 7. It adds 2, so 17.
All right.
do I also need a roll for like the Song of Rest and the Healing Word bit?
Well, Song of Rest is just like you're not employing medicine; you're just employing your spells, right?
It basically is Song of Rest plus 1d6 with HP.
I'm gonna say that you guys do this. You kind of maximize the amount of healing that you can get out of it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I haven't burned any of my first level spells with Healing Word, so I'm burning all that too.
all right. So you guys burn all your spells. We'll say you get the max out of it.
Yeah.
You take a lot of care and effort into putting it in.
Yeah, because Gilberta will burn She'll basically do Prayer of Healing 3 times because Prayer of Healing is the strongest one that she has. That's a spell slot.
All right.
2d8 for up to 6 creatures plus my.
Each of those water skins has 4 drinks of 2d8 as well.
All right. So between all of your efforts, you managed to get 28 of the wounded back up to on their feet and able to move around.
Cool.
All right. Kashana, what are you doing? Talking to Wormspit?
Oh, Yeeby.
Oh, Yibi.
Yes.
Yibi's not outside.
No.
No.
Well, I went looking for him. So.
Well, you find him. You find him in the tent where everybody's tending to everybody. Yibi is running around tending to the wounded.
Oh.
You're missing out on the fun, man.
Okay. Not going to interfere with that. I will tap her down on the shoulder though after as I'm kind of passing through. I'm going to try to figure out what a bunch of this shit is. Is there anything else that you need investigated magically, that sort of thing?
Redan pulls out 2 speckled fey eggs, 1 large fey egg, and 3 multicolored fey eggs. And he keeps one of the multicolored ones for himself. Gives the rest to Kashano. This is all I have that I could think of.
All right. You said it was 2 speckled, 1 large, and 2 multicolored that you given me?
3 multicolored.
Or you kept 1?
I kept 1, yeah. So I had 4 in total.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So you gave me 3. Got it. All right. I'll see what I can do. And I'm going to head back to my room and sit down and start identifying things just to calibrate, make sure this is actually doing what I think it's doing. Because once again, it seems to kind of be working, but it's never worked before. I'm going to start with something I know. I'm going to start with one of my, and this is all ritual too, so this is going to take forever, but what is it, 10 minutes, I think. But I'm going to start with something I know, like a healing potion that I'm pretty certain is a healing potion.
All right.
Cast it in a fire.
As you sit down into your room, there is a knock at your door.
Okay. I will answer the door.
You answer the door. Tommy is standing there, and he looks terrifying.
Terrified or terrifying?
No, terrifying. Like he is
Angry.
he is in full vampire lord mode, and he is holding somebody by the back of the cloak, this spindly cloaked figure, and there is an evil smirk across their face.
Oh, fuck.
Hey, Tommy. What?
My apologies to interrupt you, but he said he wanted to see you.
Is it Orland?
Who are you?
Geraldo, whatever.
I am Celias, the Documaster. You received our invitation, correct?
The Documaster of the Zentarum, I assume?
Yes, the very same.
Yeah.
You and I will have words, Mr. Kashano.
We'll have some words. Tommy, did you check this guy to make sure he's not, I don't know, about to explode?
I made sure he was not a threat. Can I kill him now?
Well, let's see what he has to say, shall we? Let's go down to the dining room. I don't want him in my room.
Yes, as soon as your vampire pet unhands me.
Oh, no, he's not going to unhand you. Tommy, please carry him to the dining room.
As you wish. And he just is taken down to the dining room, and Tommy throws him down into a table.
I love how he says, as you wish, as if he could do shit.
Such manners. Gregory sends his regards, Tomlin. Gregory is dead. Surely you are not that naive. Now then. And he reaches into his cloak and he pulls out a box and sets it on the table. And the box has this symbol on it.
I don't like that one bit.
Where have I seen that? It's familiar. Where have I seen that? Hold the fuck on. I've got notes. I drew that in my notebook somewhere.
Now then. And he places his hand on the box and he says, place your hand on the box and we can begin.
Well, I don't know what makes you think I'm going to start taking orders from you given our current situation. So, why don't you tell me a little bit about Sirich?
The Cyric, the
Cyric.
Prince of Lies.
Yes. Why are you asking me to put my hand on a box bearing his symbol?
Oh, this is our contract container. It is a process. If you want to be allies, as we have determined it is in our best, most cost-effective interests to be your allies. This is how the negotiations go. Cyric has been the symbol of the Zentarum for quite some time.
Yeah, well, you seem to have it kind of backwards. I don't normally sign a contract before negotiations.
Oh, this won't be signing it. This is how the negotiations start.
Take your hand off of that.
Very well.
I'm going to reach out and I'm going to touch it and try to identify it without him touching it.
All right. You touch it. And as you touch it, you feel something pierce your hand.
Blood pact.
And you are no longer in the crab shack. You're in a room of complete darkness. And he is still sitting across from you. Now, I want you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Kashana.
He then reveals his palm, and there's also the same pinprick in his. He says, we have 10 minutes. The box will produce the antidote once we have signed an agreement. Until then, this is a method of encouraging speedy negotiations. Shall we begin?
And if we are unable to come to an agreement?
Then we shall both die.
Well, that would kind of be shitty now, wouldn't it?
Indeed. And then we'll take a break.
What the fuck? I'm Oh my.
We can't leave Kashano alone.
What the? Why didn't you do an insight check? You still didn't do an insight check.
Because I know he's out to kill us. Like, what do I need to do an insight check for? I know this is an enemy. I know they're probably...
This dude gives off a vibe that is evil AF, right? Like, it's just not...
Yeah, I mean... Tommy...
And you repeatedly did the thing where you're just trying to take care of things on your own. You didn't bother to go fetch us or anything.
Yep.
I mean,
It's like, oh, I've got this.
Again, I full on intended to isolate Kashano for this section.
honestly, guys, I feel like I didn't have a lot of choice in the matter. It was just going to draw shit out for another 5 minutes. If I
There's some gentle prodding that's been going on in this episode. It's like, are you sure? Like, do this now.
All right.
Please don't take that as me going Maverick over here. I was just trying to save time.
Oh, that's exactly what Jobetta will fucking take it as.
I mean, no, Jabetta can take it however she
everybody's
wants.
shit. You've been giving everybody shit. And
I'm just saying out of game.
Oh yeah, no, out of game.
Oh, this is so funny. It's just like, all right, Kashana, don't be by yourself. Next thing you know, I'm on by himself again.
Okay.
So we'll take a short break, and we'll come back in a little bit.
Fuck me with the rusty knife. Let's watch some videos.
Oh,
Fuck me.
And we're back.
We're back. Welcome back to Mercenaries of Mischief. When last we left our heroes, everybody was tending to the various wounded at the keep. But Kashano has been trapped in a life or death negotiation for which I will now start the timer.
Do I have cigarettes in this ethereal realm?
Sure.
I definitely lit one.
Now then, the offer is simple. The Zentarum is willing to forgive all of your various insults to our organization and give everyone bearing your colors and insignia a pass. No one bearing your colors or insignia can have a contract taken out against them with our network. In exchange for this, we ask only that you aid us in unseating the Black Hand from Waterdeep.
Let's back up. I feel like you really put the cart before the horse here. What makes you think I even want to strike any sort of deal with your organization?
Well, we want to strike a deal with you. That's why we've reached out for this meeting.
Right, but I mean, you got us in this sort of playing chicken situation. What if we both just die here? I mean, how important are you? How important are you to the Zentarum? What exactly does the Documaster do?
I make these agreements. My life is inconsequential, as all lives are in the grand scheme of things.
So we're agreed on one thing. Great. So, why exactly do you want to unseat the Black Hand?
We have been watching you very closely, Mr. Kashano the Quick. We've noticed that you have some connections to Oraldo, and a recent gesture on your part has perhaps softened that relationship even more. It is of great interest to us that Oraldo is unseated from power in his organization, so that we can resume normal operations in Waterdeep.
But Oraldo is kind of a dumbass. Why do you care about him? I don't understand this. Like, they're nothing to you.
Surely you know that even the most foolish individuals, given the proper power and leverage, can rise to be a thorn in the side of anyone.
So here's the thing. You've not been incredibly forthright and transparent about this whole thing, the snaky box, put your hand on it. Oh, look, suddenly you're here and whatever the fuck this is. How do I know you're not just going to kill us all once we've done what you want?
The contract.
Tell me more about the details of this contract. How does it work?
Once it is signed, it cannot be breached. If it is breached, it will result in the death of the contract holders.
So your inconsequential life is the only thing on the line if the Zentarum, who you've already said doesn't care about you, decides to go back on the contract.
Oh, no. I am the negotiator. I do not sign the contract.
So who would be signing the contract?
Our benefactor.
So are they going to show up here before the clock runs out to sign?
No, their signature is already on it.
Can I see this contract?
Of course. Then he reaches in, pulls it out.
I'm going to read it.
It says that allies is in quotation marks. The organization known as Zentarum agrees to an allegiance of non-aggression with the denizens of Avalon Knights in exchange for their services in unseating the Rogues Order Black Hand. There is no expiry date on this service until the end of time. No Zentarum agent or member will act against the Avalon Knights.
So that's it. Just get the Black Hand out of Waterdeep.
That is all. I would say it is an amicable agreement, considering that prior to this, many names of the people in your organization would remain on the lists of our organization.
And who's signed at the bottom of this contract that I can see?
It is not written in a language that you understand.
Okay, I'm going to cast comprehend language.
You cast comprehend language on it. At the bottom of the list, there's the name Zelos.
What? I knew it.
All right. So, just to recap, how much time is left, by the way?
4 minutes.
Oh God.
Because I just want to be sure I understand all of this clearly.
Of course.
As long as we remove the Black Hand from Waterdeep for ever and ever till the end of time, no member of the Zentarum, including whoever this is undersigned, can take any action against anyone at the keep.
That is correct.
That seems surprisingly reasonable.
Well, we would do it ourselves, but we don't have the connection to Araldo that you do. So you have an in. And the recent powers he's acquired has made it difficult for our organization to operate the way we normally do. So this is the kind of contract given to a specialist.
If by some chance I were to remove Araldo and some other member of the Rogues Order Black Hand rises in his place, what then? I don't see any language. That seems like it wouldn't be my problem, correct?
They won't be an issue. The particular way Araldo has attuned himself to the artifact giving him power, once he is removed, it will no longer be an issue.
What artifact is this?
It was an orb taken out of Waterdeep. It belonged to an ancient sect of drow. It allows him to uncover secrets, to see things that he normally wouldn't be able to see. Makes it difficult to do stealthy operations against him.
I'll tell you what. I can return. I can accept this contract if we add one thing to it.
What is that?
Does your organization have the power to release Kashano the Wild from whatever hold he's under and return him to the safety of the keep?
He is not in our possession.
Can you tell me whose possession he is in?
And he quickly writes an addendum. The Black Network agrees to aid one Kashano the Quick in ascertaining the location of Kashano the Wild.
I think we've got ourselves a deal.
Very well.
Big ass K. Oshano.
And with a minute and a half to spare. I thought for sure we would both perish at this table. It's been good speaking with you, Mr. Kashano the Quick.
Yes, I do hope that you die a horrible, painful death.
It's not the first time I've heard that.
Won't be the last.
Very well. And then he puts his hand on the box. If you please. Your hand is pricked again. Fades away. Almost immediately as the darkness fades away, this man is seized by the neck by Tommy.
Yes.
What did you do?
Oh, you can kill him now.
Crushes his throat and throws him to the ground.
Wishes do come true.
The man is still, that sinister smile is still scrawled across his face as his limp body tumbles to the ground. And the box fades into blackness.
I just get a big grin on my face.
Are you okay?
The pieces are falling into place, Tommy. Things are going to be wonderful. Trust me. Have we heard back from Aroldo at all?
We have not.
Okay. Let's keep an ear out for that one. I need to speak with my colleagues.
Very well.
And I guess I'll go out to the tent just to see if everybody's kind of done with what they're doing.
You go out and everyone is done kind of healing and everybody's making preparations for this feast and everybody's laying everything out.
I keep forgetting about the feast.
Okay. Lilith, Redan, Jabetta, we need to have a very important conversation right now.
Okay. What?
There's still people sick in here.
You guys feel like you've kind of helped everybody that you could. Everyone else is kind of resting. You've
Literally
tended
burned all
you've
our
tended
stuff.
as much as you could.
Yeah, my intention was just, it's like the thing when you have a relative.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You want to be
Yeah, it's just like, just wanted to stay there kind of situation.
yeah.
Could we convene in let's convene in my room.
Do I see Melissa there?
Yeah, she's still tending to everybody and she's like goes back and forth between like, you know, making sure everybody's okay and like helping out with the feast.
Melissa, I will be exiting, but I will return as business is done. Okay?
No problem.
All right.
Me and William will handle things here. William runs up and this is another little boy with wings and a tail helping everybody out.
Little smiles. All right.
All right.
Off she goes.
All right. And then so I'm gonna lead him back to the crab shack.
Okay.
As we go in, they probably see a body on the floor unless Tommy's got anything.
That's Tommy. You go in and Tommy's already removed it.
Oh my god.
Leans up.
Yeah, as we go in, as we're walking by the bar, I'm gonna lean behind the bar and grab a couple bottles of wine.
Okay.
Hand one to Lilith. You might need this. Wait, and then
That's never a good sign.
lead everybody into the room.
Okay.
What?
Hey?
And then once everybody's in there. All right. Remember what I said about putting the best interest of the keep first.
Yes.
I've just received a visit from the folks who sent us the vile message carved into one of our guards. The goblin message.
The
that
goblin with
we
the
just discussed.
carving.
The one we were discussing just in the vault shortly ago. So the Zentarum offered a deal. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I took it.
What? The fuck?
Here are the terms. Here are the precise terms of the deal. We've been tasked with removing the presence of the Rogues Order Black Hand, with particular notice of Aroldo, from Waterdeep. In exchange, we and everyone associated with our keep has immunity from the Zentarum forever. Forever. They can never make a move against us. They can never put a contract out against us. He looks at Lilith. We're all safe from the Zentarum forever if we accomplish this. Before you give me any shit about acting alone, if we fail, the only thing at stake is my life.
Do you have a copy of this contract?
Do I have a copy of this contract?
You do not.
No, but I read it very carefully.
You had killed the messenger.
I read it very carefully. Tommy killed the guy, the negotiator. As soon as we were done, trust me, you would have agreed. But I can assure you the terms were quite clear.
So, okay, so hold on. So what happened to all of your reasoning about why the Black Hand were the ones that we should ally ourselves with? Because you had this whole, look at this. Look, we're in your room, right? She points at your fucking conspiracy board and she's like, look at this. You had this was your thing, and then you have fucked it. What happened to that?
No, actually, this plays in quite well. You see, the specifics of the contract were to remove Oraldo from leading the Rogues Order Black Hand in Waterdeep. Not kill Oraldo, not disassemble the Black Hand. Also, the reward is to protect anyone associated with the keep. So it seems like at this moment, if I do get to meet with Oraldo, his best option would be to join us, possibly even relocate here with his troops, thus gaining his own protection against the Zentarum.
So you just
now we have an untouchable army
you
to
want
fight
the
against.
Black Hand for yourself.
Kashano, did they mention anything at all about their business in Waterdeep?
Well, oh, yes, that's the thing. The other signature on the contract was Lord Zelos.
Wait, what? Wait.
Yeah, he's the bad guy.
Interesting.
I mean, Owen Stone I always knew was a bit fucking weird and sketchy, but I didn't know how quite deep those roots ran.
Yes.
Oh, Lord
There's
only
also-
knows what we gave him.
There was no timeline on when this has to be done, right?
No specific timeline.
I mean, technically we have.
However,
until the end of time.
However, if it takes too long, you may receive a message or a reminder.
Of course.
So as far as the fate of Waterdeep, it's certainly a concern.
Kashano, what if the Zentarum wanted to be there because of the Tarask we found at Waterdeep?
I mean, seems likely.
So couple things also. We did just try to frame them for theft from that vault.
Right. All the more reason to gain immunity from them. Also, this is an eternal immunity. That means we can fuck with them and frame them and do whatever the fuck we want.
And if they have any business with the Tarask,
Hold on. What? Okay.
what do we do about that?
If they want interest with the Tarask, they will find a way to get to the Tarask.
Oh yeah, that's.
And then what do we do once it's not sleeping?
We die.
Wasn't it? Okay, hold on.
The rest
Wasn't
of
it?
the world,
Isn't Lord Zealous the one that sent us into that place with that had the place to the Tarask, and where Kashano the Wild fucking attacked you?
Yes. Oh, yeah, got a bit of information too. The Kushana the Wild not under the Zentarum's control. In fact,
What? But he was.
yeah, so clearly, right. So Zelos, as apparently, I don't know, the head of the Zentarum, was sending us to steal something from some rival. I'm thinking maybe, what was those people, Lilith? You saw some people going in, the shaking hand. But who was it?
Oh, with the.
Yes, the mercenaries.
Yes.
Was that who that was that you saw kind of slipping around in the party?
They
Stealing shit? Yeah.
Well, the thing is that if Lord Zealous is our enemy, what if he lied to us and that information is inaccurate?
Oh, I'm sure he lied to me. Look,
But we may have. Oh boy.
well, clearly he was trying to. It was some sort of opposition going on. and whoever was there guarding it has control over Kashana the Wild.
Do we know when you were talking to the dead guy if he was being truthful that Kashana the Wild is not under? I mean, could he have lied when he said that they wasn't under their control?
I mean, he could have, but he put language in the contract saying that they would help us ascertain the whereabouts of Kashana the Wild. If the Zentarum already knew that, then that would be false language and nullify the contract completely.
Oh, well, you left that part out.
So,
what if we get in touch with the Wild Fangs, since they seem to be enemies of Zelos?
well, this is what I'm thinking. So we need to make sure that someone is still kind of in control there in Waterdeep. This is also an opportunity to ally with the Wild Fang. However, at this point, I believe Owen Stone has been seen around our keep. Our association with him might be known. This could be a little tricky to navigate. So I don't know the best way to reach out to Wild Fang.
What if we use that mirror?
The mirror of the past?
I mean, just to give us a direction, possibly where they last was, some indication of some clue.
Wait, do you have that mirror with you?
It's still down in the tower.
We left it back in the tower.
It's safer there. We need to keep it there.
Kashana, you might look into what's going on with Kashana the Wild, and possibly I can find out what's going on with the Wild Fang. I've seen what they look like and get an idea of to where their hideout may be. Possibly. It's a long shot, but it's a lead to something.
Yeah. I mean, look, odds were pretty good. I was going to die uselessly anyways. At least this way, if shit goes wrong, there'll be a good story behind it, eh?
I approve of this decision. It seems logical.
Kashana, why do you seem so ready to lose your life?
It's happening soon enough anyways.
That's a healthy perspective. Everyone dies.
He's got a point. It's some shit's coming down the line.
You only get one chance to live.
Chances are we will all die.
I mean, so far I've been pretty hard to kill. You gotta admit.
Oh, God, I'm so tired of hearing that.
Yes, all on your own, apparently, as I look at Gibraltar. Not without any kind of assistance.
Well,
He
look,
hasn't been healed at all or anything.
if nothing else, this should at least put you all to rest, knowing that I mean what I say. So,
Okay.
I would appreciate working with me just a little more benefit of the doubt. I know I've made a few rough calls, but we all have.
Let's say we
Let's
start over.
get all on the same page here if we could. Yes, start over. I like that.
The fact that you told us about all of this shows great encouragement. I agree. This is a good idea. The best idea we have.
All right.
Feel
Restart
better?
anew.
That's all we've got. We're still fucked.
Well, let's fucking die trying and do our damnedest to make it difficult for them.
I've never heard Lilith say anything like that. She's always the fucking optimistic one.
So how does she feel about that? How does that make Gilbetta feel?
She's a little taken aback.
Okay.
Because Lilith is always like, no, it's fine. It's fine. We can do this. And for her to actually say, like, I don't know, recognize the possibility that we could die. Gilbetta's kind of like
I'm gonna take it lying down.
like finally, like she's seeing that this is like this is
Gilbetta.
it. What?
He's gonna pull out the key from under his bed, just to make sure I understand. Does this mean you're staying, or you're leaving, and you want it in safekeeping?
If I was leaving, that would be coming the fuck with me.
Okay. I just wanted to be sure. Because, I mean, forgive me for, I know this is rough, but you've delivered your message. Is that impulse, that mission behind you? Do we have to worry about you running off in a bad moment again?
Behind me? No, it will never be behind me because apparently I'm some sort of fucking prophet.
For a prophet, that was a really bad idea.
And
Can you at least?
and I need to know what that key opens, because if that key opens something, it's probably got to do, it's a key of Salune, it's probably got to do with whatever fucking prophecy I'm a part of.
Hear me out on this. Can you go to the mirror and think about the key?
I can think about anything in front of the mirror. I don't know what it's gonna fucking do.
Maybe you could try.
I thought about Figrum earlier, and it was just shit that made me sad.
I thought about Corvan. I thought about Corvan in front of the mirror, and it made me happy. It inspired me.
I'm so fucking happy for you. That's great.
Let me look into some of these items. It'll take a while. I can catch up with you guys if you need to go tend to other things.
All right.
Or you're welcome to stay. I got nothing to.
I have other things to attend to.
Okay.
I take a look at the board and be like, Kashana, is your mind always this active?
If I'm lucky till the day I die.
Oh boy.
Is your door
I want to
closed?
see if my information's on that board.
Would have closed the door after leading everyone in, yes.
Yeah.
Is your information on
Yeah,
that
I want
board?
to do like a last minute perception check to see if like anything about me is on there, because it's like somewhat disturbing. It's like, wow, this is a lot to take in.
Not you, but in Neverwinter, there is a pin that's just says like potential enemies of Lilith. Because still not totally sure who put the hit on you.
I would like to ask you about that, like in conversation, unless it's like too much.
Well, no, just that. Well, I mean, do you know who asked the Zentarum to kill you?
Is that what that is?
I just don't know. Like the Zentarum usually do contracts for things like this. I don't know why they directly have an issue with you. So I assume there's somebody else out there looking for you. Aside from, just trying to find you. There's somebody trying to kill you. At least there were. I don't know. These are questions. This is a board of questions, not answers.
Right. Well, they could be the one that made that poster, so.
All right. So is everybody going?
Before everyone goes, Radan looks at Kashano and he's like, may I do something to your wall?
Which wall?
The wall to the outside of the crab shop, or to the outside of his room, like going outside.
Sure.
Radan rages and Ring of the Ram charges at the wall.
What?
All three charges, 60-10.
Oh my god. What the fuck were they?
Oh my gosh!
No.
All right, you smash into the wall. It's heavily damaged. Dented even.
Isn't that cool? And then Radan walks out.
The fuck was that?
Dust everywhere.
Oh my god. Jobetta says maybe Richard. It's wooden, right? Jobetta says maybe Richard can help you. Fucking.
Well, if there's any indication, it'll be fine by tomorrow. I'm not too worried about it.
That's fucking incredible.
I think you might need to bunk in another room. This room doesn't seem to be safe anymore. Easy access.
Ooh.
Oh, whoa.
Radan does that as he walks out.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
What? This room isn't safe. Where is safe?
I mean,
In Lilith's room.
I don't know what to say. Man. It's like, well, since Radan went ahead and broke your wall, you guys can be bunk buddies.
Nope.
Radan can do. As I look at Radan, I'm like,
You're overthinking it. Haven't you noticed this place fixes itself every night?
I was not aware of that.
I haven't broken anything to know that.
Oh, try it. It's fun.
It is true.
Okay.
I'm staring at the wall. I didn't see it doing anything.
Everybody get out so I can identify my shit. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to start by trying to just make sure it actually works how I think it works and identify a healing potion. I know it'd be a healing potion.
Okay, it identifies as a healing potion.
Okay, fantastic. I'm going to begin then with the Dark Blade.
Okay.
Of course.
As you identify it, hello.
Oh God.
Who's there?
'Tis I, the Obsidian Blood Drinker.
Interesting. Obsidian Blood Drinker. Were you always a weapon, or were you something previous to that?
I've always been this way.
So, tell me about yourself.
Well, I have an ancient blade, and I delight in drinking the blood of whatever I cut into, although I'm not fond of undead. It's putrid and thick.
Does drinking that blood do anything special for you?
Oh, it has bestowed certain abilities on my wielders.
Such as?
No, it depends on what we're cutting into.
Interesting. Is there any sort of catch? Because I've kind of been bamboozled into more deals than I'd like to today.
It's not really a deal. I'm a blade.
So you don't want anything from me necessarily?
I would love it if you would sink my bladed edge into as many living creatures as possible.
He's got to be able to get it out of the sheath first.
Are you able to well, it's obsidian, it doesn't rust, so it should be fine. Are you able to take any action on your own?
No, I'm afraid not. Do you know a lot of swords that move around on their own?
You know, nothing's out of the question at this point. Last few months have been really fucking weird. Okay. I'm into this. I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead and work together. I'll do my best to get you some blood to drink. You do your best to keep me from dying.
I'll do one of those things. But if you give me good blood to drink, I may become more fond of you.
All right. Well, you know, I think there's plenty of blood out there worth drinking. So I'm sure we can be accomplices here.
All right. You have a +1 short sword.
Yes.
The fuck?
The Obsidian Blood Drinker.
Obsidian Blood Drinker. Okay. Now I'm going to pop off the ring of anti-mind control. I'm going to say, Obsidian Blood Drinker, sit tight. We're going to get along well.
Whatever.
Pop off the ring of anti-mind control.
I don't care.
Okay.
I need to see what this actually does. I don't even know if it did anything when I was had it on that lady. Okay. And I'm going to identify that.
You identify the ring. The ring has basically like spells held into it. It has counter spells placed into it that will specifically counter any attempt to mind control whoever is wearing it. And then it also has charges of dispel to dispel a mind control effect on somebody that has been placed on.
Great. Just pretty much any mind control effects?
Any magical mind control effect.
Nice. Do I get a sense of, can I like dispel on someone else while wearing it, or do they have to put it on?
They have to put it on.
Okay. And does this act like the traditional item where you can make it invisible by will?
No, this one you can just see it on the ring, and in fact, it has 5 charges of each ability, and once those are expended, it disintegrates.
Okay, so 5 charges to resist mind control and 5 charges to dispel.
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet. Now I'm going to do the key.
All right. The key, you use your identify spell on it. You get a flash of a temple underwater.
Okay.
And you get a name. The Temple of the Twin Sisters.
No.
Yes.
Looks like we've got a quest resolution next week.
Top with the star. Oh, yes. I can't take it.
Okay. Anything else out of that one?
No, that's it.
Shit. Okay. Now I'm going to do all my potions. How many potions do I have here?
God, you have so many.
You got so many potions.
I
You've
have
got at
7
least-
mystery potions.
Yeah.
Okay. Hit me with those potions.
Potion number 1.
Potion number 1.
7 potions.
Potion of animal friendship.
Oh, I have that.
Nice.
Potion of heroism.
Okay.
Oil of sharpness.
Okay.
Potion of vitality.
Mhm.
Potion of gaseous form.
Ooh.
Dibs.
Not to be unstealthy barbarian. I think it's for stealth. Sorry.
A potion of speed.
Nice.
And a potion of frost giant strength.
Damn.
Redan.
They're all Redan.
No, Yeeby.
There you go, Evie. Have 28 strength.
I love UB.
I'm glad I did them this way instead of by trying them out, because they probably would have all killed me if I just drank them on the fly.
Yeah.
If you drank them all together, it
They
probably
would
would
have
be
been
great.
something else. No, they would have
I
been
could
like,
just
oh,
like we're in somewhere where there's no animals and you drink the animal friendship one.
right.
Just nothing.
All bad news.
Okay, so then let's see. Oh, Redan's eggs.
Redan's eggs.
So there's 2 speckled eggs, there's 1 large egg, and there's 3 multicolored eggs.
Okay. There doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason to what the eggs do. The
No.
colors don't seem to dictate what's on with them. Feywild enchanted eggs will cast a natural domain spell when
Okay.
thrown.
Cool.
When broken or thrown.
When broken or thrown, either way.
Wonderful.
Alrighty. Trying to see what else do I'm saving the emerald ring for last. What else do I got? Oh, I want to check out the coin for the Carnival of Opportunity just to see if that's anything magical or if
It is not.
what else did I have on my list here? Where's my list? Hold on.
I imagine that like if anybody walks by Kashana's room at any point, they're just like, God, why is he singing the same song over and over?
For like 2 hours.
You just can't get it out of his head. You just gotta keep playing it.
Wall, I'm sure we can kind of hear what the hell's going on.
The orb I don't have with me. I
Mhm.
already did the soul shards. Okay, I think that all I've got left, is that emerald ring that seems to have something in it.
Okay.
That big fat emerald ring that Philip thought was so important.
All right.
I actually ended up telling you guys the story about how he got that. Anyways.
All right. As you touch the ring and begin to cast your identify spell, you're hit with what seems like a memory of you in this kind of tropical island space that you see within the ring when you examined it closely last time. And you're running through this space with a very familiar woman. And you're happy there. This is a joyful, peaceful place. This is a refuge.
Can I identify the familiar woman, or is it just a feeling of familiarity?
You can identify her. It is that same girl from your past.
Ishvala?
Yep,
I do remember her name.
Ishvala. It is Ishvala, and the two of you, this memory floods back of the two of you just basically frolicking in this place.
Is this a real memory from my past?
You're not sure.
Okay.
You don't specifically remember a time like this because, of course, out of water deep, right? This is.
Yeah. That's why I'm confused.
And there's a beautiful home here. There's a whole life for you and her, and then you snap back.
Can I tell if this is? Does this seem to be a plane or a dimension, or is this a space that can be occupied and traveled to? As far as I can tell,
You feel like it's a space that can be traveled to, but you're not sure how. And when traveled to, you're not positive if you're physically going there or just your mind is.
Interesting. Okay. I'm gonna sit and think about all that while the other people do stuff.
Okay. All right. So, the feast goes off.
Yeah, Jobetta's. It's dark by this point, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, it's starting to get nighttime.
Jobetta is just she wants to know what this fucking shield does.
Okay, it's recharging in the moonlight. You
Yeah.
can feel Salune's power going into it.
Yeah, she's just sitting in the moonlight, just like poking it. Like
Okay. There's revelries going on. People are dancing. Music is playing. Spoonie's playing a song for everybody. There's a lot of food going around. Everybody's kind of celebrating the fact that we have the Mage Tower back. A small kobold girl comes up and tugs on your armor while you're recharging your shield.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Grayscales. You healed me back at the tent.
Oh. Yep. Totally remember that.
I wanted to thank you properly. And for what everybody's doing, giving us a place to stay here. It means a lot to us. My family and I were hunted everywhere we went just because we're kobolds. But it seems like people don't care about that stuff here.
Okay, so hold on, Cobalt. So what is that?
They're like little lizard people.
What color is she?
Her scales are a mixture of
Gray.
like light blue and gray.
Okay, all right.
Her name is Grayscale.
That's what I thought. Okay, so Jobetta is like, her armor probably conceals a lot of it, but
Yeah.
she kind of like moves her armor around.
Yeah.
And she's like, "You have scales and I have gills. She's like, being a different color is cool."
Yeah, it seems like it doesn't matter what race you are here, and I think that's really neat.
No, it doesn't matter.
But I was wounded because I'm not I'm not a really great fighter, and you're a cleric, right?
I am.
Could you teach me?
Yep. Yep.
Headmistress Jovetta finally gets to teach somebody something.
Oh, happy right now.
Like, yep.
All right. She's just so excited. She's like, when do we start?
Jovetta says, watch this. And she takes like a part of her armor and she rips it.
Okay.
And then she casts mending and puts it back together.
Oh, wow.
I love this.
Can you teach me how to do that?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, right now.
Um,
For the rest of my life.
She says, I'm not really religious. What God do you follow?
Ooh.
I'll like pull the. Well, I assume the shield is like. I have it chilling.
Yeah.
I was sitting by the river. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what Jovetta does. And I like pull the shield out and I tell her about Selune.
All right. And she just sits and listens to you talk about Selune forever. Just like wide-eyed, excited.
God.
You've got a follower.
Oh my God. Jovetta just tells her all about Selune and like she tells her about her sister Shar and how that's all fucked up and about all of that, like the backstory and the lore, basically.
All right. She listens to you so attentively. And then every time you think you're done, she's like, and then what?
Oh my God. How old does she look? Like, is she like...
You're not sure because you're not familiar with kobolds and how they age and that kind of thing. But she feels... Her mannerisms make you feel like she is young, but not like a kid. Like she may be a teenager or something.
Yeah. She's nice for a teenager.
Yeah, and she's just looking up to you. Like she's just like.
I mean, I guess I'll keep telling her about Selune.
All right.
And then, I might like fire off like a sacred flame or something at one point.
Pew pew pew.
Yeah.
Wow. She listens to you for as long as you want to speak.
I'll probably pull out some like party trick spells too.
Okay.
You know, I'll do like a create or destroy water. Like I just like create a bunch of water above the river and then just make it rain down into the river.
No, she's clapping. She's just like loving every bit of this.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty awesome.
She eventually like produces some parchment and starts taking notes on the thing that you're telling her. And
so like, yeah. And I'll tell her kind of how it works for me. Like I worship Selune and my powers are kind of filtered through her and she's the one that kind of keeps me headed on the path that I'm on. And
all right. So it goes on like that through like as long as you keep talking, she keeps going on like that. Meanwhile, back at the party, who else is hanging out at this feast?
Redan would have tried to find Philip and Tommy, and then he would have bailed.
Philip has not yet arrived. Tommy intermittently appears on various guard towers and then disperses back into baths and going across the night sky.
All right, Redan would be trying to get his attention or just going up to a tower and like waiting for him.
Okay, you wait for him and he coalesces in front of you and he's looking around. He's fully alert.
Tommy, may I borrow you for a moment?
What is it?
I am going to be training Gilbetta to fight with a blade. Do you have something that I could purchase from you or know someone that I could purchase it from? I would like to give her a present.
What do you need?
A longsword of some sort that would work for her height and size.
Osman is on his way. He should be here in the morning.
Ooh, interesting. That makes me. Thank you, Tommy.
What?
No problem.
Have you seen Philip before you go?
I have not seen Philip.
Thank you.
Disperses into bats and goes out across the night
Now,
sky.
is it just me or does Tommy still sound pretty pissed?
Totally. Redan would be looking for Philip after that.
Okay. You can't find Philip. He hasn't arrived at the keep yet.
Okay. And then, all right, just to end the night off, Redan would be going to the Mage Tower, filling up like gallon-sized buckets or like kegs of that oil
Okay.
and storing it in his backpack. He's looking for about 20 small casks.
Okay.
And then reading the book on Corvan and just contemplating life.
All right. You read the book of Corvan, and it's the story about how he met up with an adventuring group, only to return home to find that his home village had swapped to worshiping Tiamat. And his efforts to basically bring Bahamut back to that town and remove Tiamat's corruption is the first tale that you get through.
All right.
All right. Lilith, you're at the party, hanging out. Songs are being played.
I wanted to check on Melissa first.
Oh,
then-
she finds you.
She finds me. Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's like, it's quite the celebration, isn't it?
Oh, yes. I'm assuming someone else is watching now in your...
Yes, William and Yibi are actually tending to everybody. He's a sweet boy.
Good to know that you're going to get your rest. Yes, feast away and enjoy the show. I think I will go up on stage and do a little performance.
I wanted to give you something.
Me?
And she gives you a small bottle. She says, it's my special brew.
Oh, sweetie.
Infernal Sisters. And she gives you a hug.
Infernal Sisters, yes. I hug her right back. Yes, yes.
She's like,
Anything you need, please don't hesitate.
she's like, I wish I could be like you.
No.
My true form, it's too much. It's too much. Regular people don't accept me anywhere I go, except for here.
I know
still,
exactly how
At least I've got a home here.
Yes, yes, we are going to make a great home here where everyone can get along and there is no racism whatsoever with one creature to another.
I'm so glad you're here. She gives you another hug too.
You're here.
And her tail like wraps around your tail and gives it a shake.
And I want to tell her, be like,
Avatar.
don't ever dismiss yourself. Love who you are. Own it.
So this is the first time we've ever been able to walk around without our disguises on. Getting kind of used to it.
It is quite a relief, isn't it?
It's a special place. She looks around.
You're trying to make us cry, Puck.
It is a special place, and I swear to make it better.
I know that you will. And she
You will
goes
do-
off.
Yeah, okay, great.
Go do your song.
I didn't write one.
Okay, well,
So
whatever.
I'm just performing.
So you just play your songs and
I say
everything.
something. Sorry.
Does anybody else want anything to do before they sleep for the night?
Once I've finished identifying all this stuff and I can hear the party going on, I'm gonna go around and like redistribute things.
Okay.
I'll find Redan at some point before he goes screwing around with oil. And I'll give him back the eggs and just so they're kind of a crapshoot. Fey magic's a little weird. It's all gonna be natural domain stuff, but as far as exactly what you're getting each time, it's a bit hard to say.
Maybe you should hold on to them. I don't seem to have a lot of use for them.
Okay. That being said, though, I finally figured out what some of these are, and pulls out the gaseous form potion. I need to do a little more research on exactly how this works, and maybe we can find something in the library. But it seems like the sort of thing that might come in handy. Get a big guy like you into a smaller place.
I appreciate that. But may I make a suggestion?
Okay.
Lilith is concerned with dying. I am not. Maybe it would be better served for her.
I mean, if you don't look, gift it to whomever you like. There's more to distribute. I really need to go speak with Jobetta though, so I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude, but you feel free to pass it along.
Okay, thank you.
And then I'm finding Jobetta and just like, he'd do this again, but we should probably talk quietly away from the crowd.
Well, Jobetta's outside.
Yeah, Jobetta's by the river, like,
Training.
Oh, she's just over by the river? Okay.
and there's this kobold girl near her, just like completely enthralled in everything she says.
Sorry to interrupt. Jobetta, could we have a moment?
Jobetta says, yeah, just give me a second.
Grayscale says, "That's Yeeby's master. You're Yeeby's master."
I am Yeeby's
Yeeby is his
colleague.
squire. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean it like that. I have trouble with common, like a teacher.
Yes, like a teacher.
What other languages do you speak?
Draconic is our native tongue.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Well, welcome to the keep, little friend. We do have some important business to discuss, though, so if you could excuse us.
Oh, no problem.
Hold on. Hold on. What was her name again? Was it Grace?
Grayscale.
Grayscale. I'm gonna say I'm going to, let's see. As a fucking cleric, I ended up with like 3 holy symbols because I have one from being a cleric, and then I have another because I picked the acolyte background.
Right.
So I'm gonna give her one of my holy symbols of solidity.
Okay, she is wide-eyed. She's like, "Are you serious? Really?"
She says, and Jobetta, when she hands it to her, she says, it doesn't matter if you choose to worship Selene, if you choose to worship no one. But I want you to have this as a reminder of tonight, and as a promise that I will train you in at least the very beginnings of healing spells and being a cleric.
All right. She stands up right straight while you're giving it to her, and like puts her head up so you can put it around her neck for her, like as a necklace.
Okay, I'll put it around her neck, and then I'll toss her. I'll like toss her 5 gold pieces, and I'll be like, "Here, have a nice meal on me."
Overcome with joy, she gives you a full-on hug.
Okay, I'll pick her up and spin her around.
She's like, "Yay!" Jesus, thank you so much, mistress. I'll go and I'll train all night.
Well, do get some sleep.
I will. She runs back to the keep.
Okay.
All right. Well, before the main thing, because I'm sure this will be sidetracked. You can speak with animals, right? Can you do anything else? Can you like lock into one, get a hostile one on your side, anything like that?
Yes.
Oh, you can?
Yes.
Oh, okay, then you don't need this. He puts the potion of animal friendship back in his bag.
Oh no, I have.
I got that.
It's fine.
This is what I do.
Yeah, no, never mind. Okay, so I sort of saw inside the key something like this.
Wait, inside what? Inside the key?
So, are you aware of an underwater city?
We've spoken about it a little bit.
Have you seen it?
I saw kind of like an image of it, but it was in ruins.
Okay, the one I saw, was it in ruins?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to describe it a little bit to make sure it was this. Like, did it have a and then and make sure it's the same thing she saw.
Yeah. It's the same thing. He gives an impeccable description.
Do you know what that place is or where it is?
Nope. I know that it is seemingly underwater.
There is a temple there.
Okay.
It's called the Temple of the Twin Sisters.
Gilbetta goes and picks up. She's dropped her other shield. Like she put her other shield in her room, so she just has the other one. And she picks it up, and she kind of like puts her hand on it, and she says, "You've got to be kidding me."
No. That's
You know what that reference is, right? I just want to be
Yes.
like Kashana. Okay. All right.
Yes. So Vigram's note indicated that, I mean, look, like
maybe
we
the
said,
underwater city is what I'm supposed to find. I don't even know.
maybe you need to bring the dwarf with you.
Which dwarf?
Your sister.
That dwarf.
Broke Gilbetta. We all heard it.
Just that, I mean, look, understand the logic behind these things. In most histories, prophecies, mythologies, there's two halves that need to coexist. You can't have darkness without light. You can't have light without darkness. Look, this is
a hard sell.
This is your thing. I'm just trying to give you the information I've gained.
Great. Cool.
Unfortunately, that's about all I know. Except for, I also tell her what's up with the rings.
Oh, okay.
You might want to keep that on.
They're cool rings, great. She's gonna say, how much of the story of Shaw and Selene do you remember? I know I've told you bits and pieces. How much of it do you remember?
Well, I know that they had a falling out and a big fight.
Yes, in Waterdeep, like it was like a thing.
Right, kind of went their separate ways, and their followers kind of oppose each other ever since.
Yes, you know a lot. Well, not, you know the basic gist.
Yeah.
Cool. She's like, I don't know what to do about that.
All right.
She's like, I've met her once. I gave her the note. She told me that she was unimpressed with me. I guess I bored her. And then she told me never to come back to that place and kicked me out. And then we got attacked by a dragon and didn't really get to talk about it.
Here's the thing, though. Sharp has told me not to come back half a dozen times. And every time she shows up to say hello. So it's family.
I miss her. Anyway,
I wonder what she's up to.
I don't know. Probably making cat ear illusion somewhere.
Probably dancing around under a spell somewhere.
Killing folks.
Which we don't know.
Beeps.
Yeah.
Killing beeps.
So I mean,
I still want you to hold on to the key because chances are we're not going to find the underground city anytime soon, and chances are when we do find it, you'll probably be somewhere near. But that's why I gave it to you in the first place. I didn't mean for you to cast Identify on it. It's fine. But that's why I gave it to you in the first place. Because if you have the key, then I wanted to assure you that by letting you have the key, that I would consult with you and everyone else before going after the underground city. Or whatever that key was, which I now know is the underwater city.
All right.
I appreciate that. I will keep it on me as safe as I can, if that's your wish. But just if I suddenly drop dead due to breach of contract, be sure to
get the key. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Pick it up off my corpse.
I'm gonna. If that happens, listen. If that happens, I'm gonna freeze from decay and see if one of those warlocks can do something. See what happens.
All right.
Zombie Kashano.
And then so I don't know if you know more about all of this underwater city prophecy stuff than me. So you let me know what you need from us. In the meantime, there's a lot going on, so I do hope that you can kind of temper your excitement about.
I mean, I assume something will come up eventually. So far, all of my quests have led to dead ends, with Agrella, the mother of my sister, being maybe dead. Don't know.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
At any rate, I'll leave it to your moon stuff.
She says, "Wait a minute." She says, I like when I heard about what happened with the box, because I assume he told us about the poison. Did you tell us about the poison thing and like all that?
Yeah. I would tell him the circumstances.
Yeah. She says, Kashano, I know that I give you a lot of shit, but I thought that I was going to have lost you today. Get your fucking shit together. And then she pulls him in and gives him a hug.
Aw. That's so sweet.
Aww. I'm not that easy to kill.
So as that plays out through the night, the only other person who gets a visit tonight is Redan, actually, up in the library.
Ooh.
And Redan, you hear some shuffling around up in the library, and you notice a bugbear is up there rifling through the books.
What are you looking for?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know anybody was in here. Just looking for something to read. Wormsmith says I need to read more.
Is there anything in particular you are interested in?
Oh, I'm trying to expand my mind a little bit, so everybody thinks I'm just a brute. But I want to be more than that.
I can relate to that. What languages do you speak?
I speak Goblin, a little bit of Undercommon, and my Common's coming along pretty well, isn't it? My accent's terrible, I know.
You sound fine to me.
Oh, thanks. You're a nice guy about that.
I have a book you could read. Calazar lent it to me.
Oh.
It is in Undercommon, and I cannot read it.
Oh, all right. Thanks a lot.
All right, so Redan gives him the your servitude to Lawless.
Oh, God.
And he says, I would like this back when you are done.
No problem. I'll give it back to you. Looks kind of dry, but I'll give it a shot.
Redan is...
I suspect it is dry.
Oh, we all got to start somewhere.
And Redan was referring to, like, it's actually dry.
Yeah. He takes it literally like it's...
It's a book. It has to be dry or it gets ruined now.
Hey, you're a big guy, too, and you're pretty smart. Maybe I could be like you someday.
Maybe I can be like you, too.
Everybody gets an apprentice.
All right, well, I'm going to go give this a rifle through. I'll leave you to what you're doing.
I hope you have a good evening.
And he leaves.
All right, just real quick, at some point in wandering back, I would have made a point to find Yibi and just kind of like, after having seen him, all he's doing today, just kind of lean in and whisper, be like, now is the time to show leadership. You're doing excellent. Keep it up. And then gonna fuck off back to his room, conspicuously absent from most of the party.
Okay.
When he gets back to his room, he's gonna crack open Blackwind's diary.
Okay. I will lay out all the pages for Blackwind's diary of note in later.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually everyone goes to sleep.
Yeah. Do I find out what my shield does before I...
I'll give it to you in the morning.
Okay, great.
Do we heal necrotic damage back up to our maximum hit points over a night's rest?
Yes, you do.
Real long rest.
Sweet.
You all eventually go back to your rooms and sleep for the night. when you all awaken,
Uh-oh.
your rooms are normal, basic bed, chest of drawers, nightstand, basic inn and tavern rooms.
Is my conspiracy board gone?
Your conspiracy board, the papers and everything have tumbled to the ground. Any belongings or anything that you guys have stored in the room have kind of been misplaced, but they're still in there.
Does that mean Kashano have an open wall? It's not repaired?
That actually was able to repair before.
Damn it.
You're so nice.
Gilberta, as soon as she is running out of her room to find somebody to see if she's the only one that it happened to.
You run outside, and Tommy and Spoonie are weeping over a basic table.
What's happened? What has happened?
Spoonie!
Not Cookie. No, don't. Not Cookie. No.
Cookie is gone. I failed him. And that's where we end.
I still haven't read Radan's note.
There's too much shit going down.
I'm also done reminding you. You got to remember that from now on. It's been 3 fucking weeks.
No, I wanted to, but then like I saw Puck was going somewhere, so I was like,
Yeah.
intrude. I was like,
No, we're over time already, so I better wrap this shit up.
at the time when I find this letter,
Yeah.
there's probably like so many like footmarks on it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh my gosh. I don't even know if I made it back to my room. Whatever.
I do want to point out that I
it's
still
fine.
haven't told anybody about Blackwind's diary.
No, you
Yeah.
haven't.
Yeah, it's fine. Radan still hasn't told us about some shit either.
All right, just to be, let's just say I slept in the clinic. That's why I didn't see.
Oh
it.
yeah.
Look, that'll
All
be, yeah, okay. Oh no.
Cookie doesn't die.
But he is. Does the water even come into my room anymore?
It does, but it's like a basic pool. Like it's just
bracket
like
on water.
yeah.
Basic pool and a basic bed, a basic. We're so basic now.
The tavern itself is just it's like it's drained of life. Like it's just a ramshackle wooden building now.
That's not good.
I mean, I knew it was coming. I just didn't think it would be this fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
I literally. You gave us so much joy this episode, and then you
Yes,
took it
thank
all away.
you. Thank you so much. Puck.
No, don't thank him. No, don't thank him. He took it away. He took the joy
Oh.
away.
Well, look, I was thinking about it, and I was like, well, the Melissa character has so much in common with what Lilith is actually going through. Like, it seems they would be natural friends.
Yeah, so I'm just talking about like the overall.
Oh, yeah. So that's the session for today, guys.
Guess I'm turning into too many warlocks tomorrow. See what the fuck's going down.
Yeah.
Tune into Too Many Warlocks tomorrow to figure out what's going on with Cookie.
Third narrative out. Bye. I
Oh.
can't take it.
I don't.
How you dealing with this? How you shaping up, Kishana? You gonna be all right?
I thought that was. Okay,
So
I thought, he dropped. I thought maybe he's unconscious, but now that if the life energy is drained from the crab shack, that's like he's dead.
in the back of my mind, I thought that Cookie might have been part of the influence that's allowed me to escape death so many times.
Oh,
Oh, your whole fucking thing is just shattered now. Great.
so
Whoa.
thanks so much for joining us on Mercs of Mischief.
Kishano immediately drinks his potion of heroism.
Yeah, he's gonna need it. Thanks so much for joining us again. Please feel free to follow the stream. We'll be doing a giveaway once we finally reach our 200 followers. We'll be doing a giveaway of a game code for Assassin's Creed Origins. And of course, you can keep track of everything that we're doing down in the down there part, where you can keep track of our Facebook page, hop on our fan Discord, and talk with all of the various members of our 2 shows. And be sure to catch Too Many Warlocks whenever it comes up on Mondays, so you can see the epic conclusion of what's going on with Cookie next day. Also, tune in throughout the week, and if you're following the channel, you'll get the notifications whenever we throw up a little game time. Occasionally, we need a respite from the emotionally taxing world of our Dungeons & Dragons game, and we hop into another video game and play together, and you can hop in and monitor those whenever you can. And if you want to catch up on the stream, and play with us too. We can play together.
And featured this week in whatever game we play, I'm going to kill Puck.
Yeah, well, maybe. We did do Minecraft, so we'll see what happens.
I will kill you in Minecraft if we play Minecraft this week.
But again, thanks so much for joining us, and until next time, class dismissed.
I'm gonna die.